And we're back, about to start a women's game between Hamburg of Germany and Montpellier of France. Hamburg, Germany in the black boats, red buoyancy aids and black helmets, and Montpellier in France, from France in the blue boats, blue buoyancy aids and white helmets, and Montpellier picking up the ball at the start. Always a nerve-settling exercise. Two of the Montpellier team in the French senior women's team that picked up a bronze medal at the World Championships in Welland in Canada, and two of the Hamburg team in the German ladies team that picked up a gold medal in the championships. So some good players on these teams, good, strong, well-established club teams. So hopefully for us, a great game in prospect. This early possession falling to Montpellier. French paddling style, always very good technical paddlers, making that pay for them with this first period of possession. Just resetting their attack, coming around the outside. The Montpellier style, as we've seen earlier today, is that they are quite committed to a set play system. They've opened themselves out and tried to create a chance, but they've given the ball to Hamburg. Germans, big, strong finishers. Tony Lenz for Germany, number 6. Plays number 6 for the German national side. A great finish for them. Arguably the best female player in the world. Multi-gold medalist, World Games, World Championships, European Championships. She'll be leading that Hamburg team from her point of view, hopefully to a win here, but I'm sure Montpellier will have plenty to say about that before we're done. First couple of minutes on as evens, no really big chances, no really big openings. And now it's the first Hamburg set play attack. Working the ball inside to Tony Lenz, but unfortunately from their point of view, drawing a foul.
Both of these teams know each other very well.
Annette Stephans there for Hamburg, an uncharacteristic handling error, dropped the ball out the back of her hand and nearly cost them possession, but managed to retrieve it. Now this is going to be a straight race. Nice Safini for Montpellier, getting to the ball first, but falling onto the boat of her German opponent and conceding a foul. Judith Gerbert getting there, trying to help her upright. Very sporting, but to no avail. I think that'll be Hamburg ball for the holding offence, which is going to feel a bit unkind for the swimmer. That's number 6. Nice Safini. French senior women, I suspect when she gets home to her club training session, there'll be something to say about that. No. And the referee just waiting for this to tidy up, but since the foul is going the way of Hamburg, there really is no reason required by the rules. The referee's calling the substitute on for Montpellier. They're substituting the player clear of the playing area with all their equipment, and actually they're electing instead to one for the rule aficionados, with the French player who capsized and exited their boat being up this end of the pitch, and their team back down to 5. Sure, people will be able to debate that at length going forwards. But Hamburg unable to capitalise on that little opportunity created for them, and the status quo restored, everybody back in their proper places. I think that's looking that way. I'm a bit surprised really, because technically it's been quite a good first half so far, halfway through it now, but actually neither team seems to have had a real cutting edge to score. And I think I know both these teams well, and they've both got very senior national team players. I would have expected a little bit more bite. It is in the group. These ladies playing in groups of 3, so to a certain extent every game is a final. If you lose a game it hurts you. At this stage it's about the middle group you go into, so there is a repechage system, but the teams here are so close that if you go through into a stronger middle group it can really make life difficult for you. So I said that's actually a nice save from there. That was a hard high top corner shot, and Judith Gerber in the Hamburg goal just poked it up onto the crossbar and out. Very nicely done. Melanie Koenig for Montpellier, again a very experienced player, in and out of the French squad, but now a dedicated club player, but certainly very experienced in this Montpellier team. And this is what they're going to need. Hamburg, very respected as a club, men's and ladies categories, huge club in Germany. It's by a lot of their national team players, and as we say, 2 of these gold medalists earlier this month, or a month ago now. And so Montpellier will be giving them a lot of respect, and I'm beginning to think perhaps looking at this but a little bit too much. Oh, and without wanting to be rude to anybody, that's a cheap goal. Katarina Cruz saw an opportunity there. The French Montpellier goalkeeper drifting back toward a goal and just lobbed it over the top. That is a very soft goal. Yeah, Montpellier will be disappointed, and Katarina Cruz will just go, well, that's another one in the bank. Thank you very much. Now, this will be the real test, because both of these teams could go a long way in this competition. Both were the winners of their national league. Yeah, that's woken it up. Yeah, and this is what I can't help thinking they should have perhaps done before, but quite so often in some of these close games that's what it takes, someone to score a goal to spur things on. And so now hopefully things will liven up for us. As I say, technically been very good so far, but just a little bit more oomph coming into it. Yeah. Regrouping, classic set play start for this attack from the Montpellier team, and then they'll come driving in and try and get a decent chance away. Yeah, half a chance not good enough, so it recycles out. Shot clock's down to 30 seconds, but plenty of time to just reset the play and go again. As we've said earlier, some of these club teams, really the shot clock not so crucial. They don't run down the clock like national teams, or they don't play the clock quite so much. They'll have a set play, they run it. If it takes 20 seconds, they'll shoot in 20 seconds. Just gives them more chance to get more opportunities. And I think Montpellier, to break down this German defence, are going to actually have to make quite a bag full of opportunities.
Hamburg are playing quite a wide, aggressive zone there. They keep punching out towards them, as they're coming in, cutting down that French space.
I think that's true, and I think that's partly that they rely on Judith Gerber. If they can get a shot to be taken on here from, say, 6 metres, she will just save them down. German goalkeepers always very strong, the men goalkeepers and women. One of their strengths, and they'll be figuring if they can keep the French shots out at some distance, she's more than a match for them so far. Well, the French game often becomes about speed bumping over and hopping over inside these defences, but they haven't managed to make that work yet. And yeah. But yeah, we're seeing a pattern now. They're taking a shot as the clock runs down from 6 metres, and it's being saved relatively comfortably. They're going to have to change that system, but as you say, they're just not getting anybody inside. Let's see how this goes. So we've got. They're going to have to penetrate something, surely. No. As you say, the German defence just looking completely solid here. They're not particularly tightly compact, but they're managing to hold that ball out almost without putting any effort in. Their discipline in shape is beautiful, but the French have got to put some work in to break it down, and the gap that appeared there for her to ride through just disappeared as she came towards it. So German defence being probably the story of this half, really. Yeah. Yes. And there's been plenty of shots, but none of them's had any real... you haven't felt that any of them were really likely to trouble the German goalkeeper. Again, setting themselves up. This is obviously their go-to position when they want to start an attack. Yeah, but again, nowhere near the goal. No one. Yeah, well disciplined, technically good. They need to change this up. At half-time, they really need to have a conversation about what to do differently here if they're going to score a goal past Hamburg. Goal line throw for them must be, yeah, we're right on the dot of half-time, and that is half-time. 3-minute break for these teams to regroup. I would think that Hamburg would like to have scored another couple on the break, but for me, it's Montpellier have got to change something up. They've got to find a way of breaking this defence down. Well, they need to find a way of getting inside, whether that's using speed to go over the German boats or, as is quite popular on other European teams, is to cut in and drop a man inside. Yeah. Yeah, and given the quality of these two teams, really quite a soft goal. We could have expected a bit more. And Montpellier clearly having a chat there in the centre of the pitch. They've got to find a way of breaking down the German defence if they want to get back into this. And at the same time, that said, they must not make a mistake in attack, because that German team will score on the break all day long if they get chance. And that is something Montpellier have done right so far. They really haven't given them a good opportunity, because the half chance they had was just a bit of a sad goal, really. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I suspect that it'll be whether Montpellier can actually find a way inside. If they throw stuff up that's been weak, like we've seen in the first half, the Hamburg team will get them on the break. We must be just about coming up here. Referee's just checking with the table, but we'll be underway in just a moment. For those just joining us, the Montpellier team from France in the blue kayaks, blue buoyancy aids and white helmets, and in the black kayaks, red buoyancy aids and black helmets, the Hamburg team from Germany. Women's game in Group C. Win for Hamburg here would see them sitting top of this group with 2 games played, which would be a happy place for them. That 1-goal lead, I'm sure they'd be happy to build on as soon as they can. First half sprint was won comfortably by Montpellier with some style, and I'm sure they're hoping to repeat that. And here we go. Referee Danson will throw the ball into the centre of the pitch. One player from each team makes a sprint for the ball. Closer this time. But again, Montpellier, Melanie Koenig coming out on top of that, or literally coming out on the bottom of that, but winning the ball. And as a sprint starter, that's all that really matters. She got there first, she won the ball. If she has to draw a minor foul for that, well, so be it. That's part of the game. Yeah, more than happy to take that, yes. And the ball's gone off the back. We have spare balls just being called upon by the referee. And the second half starting pretty much as the first half ended, with Montpellier in an attacking position, but not really getting any product out of that German defence. They're going to see if they can come inside now. But all the time they're sitting so wide and high, I'm struggling to see how they're going to beat the goalkeeper. Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly really they're taking those shots, and they're just not troubling the German defence. The Hamburg defence is more than happy to deal with that and come on the break. And this 1-goal lead will be looking pretty good to them now. Yeah, they'll be quite happy. That certainly from what they and we have seen so far, if they're in a set defence, they're quite comfortable, and so they can afford to take a chance or take time here, let the clock go down, craft a perfect chance, and they have got some big shooters. I mean, both Toni Lenz and Katarina Kruse, the German national team players, are big hitters on the national stage, and so at this level, very good. Yeah, but not. And Annette Stefan's chasing on her own and actually managing to run down a fair bit of the clock by making it difficult for the Montpellier team to get up the pitch. No, again, as you say, there was half a chance there of having a little bit of a weaker defence, but they've allowed that to go. That's one of the drawbacks to this set play system in setting up their attack. They've allowed Hamburg time to get their set defence in, and that may well prove difficult for them. Yeah, and again, they've shot from the outside again. I can't help thinking it's time they realise that that's not quite working. Yeah. Yeah, a fairly risky strategy, high risk, high rewards, but this Hamburg team is so good. I mean, that's Toni Lenz there. She'll make the right choice there, which on this occasion was just to hold the ball up and get some backup from a team. Physically very capable of sprinting on there, but she's taking the percentage option, and I think that percentage is probably defined by the fact that they are actually a goal up. Again, that's a slightly weak pass, and Nice Safini will be very happy to get that, because if she'd lost that there, yeah, if she'd lost that there, it would probably have been another goal. Yeah. And trying to get the ball up with a little bit of space, but I've got a feeling, again, a long shot, but that was, again, just Judith Gerbert dropped into the goal just nicely in time. And again, that's not an easy save. It's top corner, going fairly high and hard, and she's timing it just perfectly to just poke them, because it's difficult to get enough strength behind the paddle, so just poking it over the top. And she seems very comfortable doing that, certainly in this game.
So still only 1 goal in this game so far?
Yeah, it's been very tight. It's and hoping that Montpellier are going to keep to this pressure system and give themselves a chance of winning the game, because I think they're going to have to take a chance or two. They've played a very steady game. They've played it well, but it isn't giving them the goal that they need.
And there we go again. Montpellier have put a person inside the zone this time, trying to open it up a little bit.
Yes, they have to try something, and that's obviously option one. Let's see if they.
Oh, well, that has counted.
It
yes,
has
so Montpellier have got the ball back.
And that's Annie Chevalier taking a chance. Not the best shot they've had all game, but because they'd made a little bit more space and they were a little bit closer, I think that's where been the difference, and it's gone in. So 1-1. We've got over 5 minutes to go, and so probably anybody's game. I think this might make the Hamburg team step up a gear. I think they've got another gear to go to, and I think they're going to have to find it if they want to win.
Well, considering how strong the Hamburg defence has been, that was a real surprise to see that sail through, but a nice shot.
Yep. If they're on target, you've always got a chance. But this is it. Again, in a bit of slightly casual there from Hamburg. I think they just assumed somebody else was going to tidy that up for them, and in the end they've got on top of it. Shot clock's slowly drifting down into the 40s, but they've plenty. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, we call the first goal cheap, but that one really was cheaper still. That's the goalkeeper, Judith Gerbert, just seeing an opportunity there. I wonder if the French keeper was slightly forward of a line or slightly to one side, because that was a placed shot rather than a smash shot. She knew where that was going, and it was on target, and it was a good goal.
Well, it's definitely one of those shots that if the keeper had stopped it, the rest of her team would have been very angry at her for shooting that.
Yeah, I think she must have seen a gap. It really did look like she just placed it in a space. And that's often a skill goalkeepers can bring. They know what another goalkeeper can actually save. And it did look very placed. So, unfortunately for us, we're back to the status quo. It's 2-1 to Hamburg, and Montpellier on the outside. Looking
There's a gap
for
on the right here, though.
Yeah, they have.
Oh,
Again,
well worked.
That is it. That is a well-crafted chance. One person pushed the defender across, the other came behind. They delivered the ball, and Alice Janek took the chance and equalled things up.
Essentially the same move they've been trying to play all game, but with that extra player in there to make the space for it.
I think that was the difference, and I think it was with the first goal they scored. When they've put somebody inside the German defence, it's just given a slightly different dimension to the attack.
I think it's fair to say that was the best finish of the 4 goals of the game so far.
Yes. And still a few minutes left, so all to play for.
If you look at the difference in the zone defence here, Hamburg have 2 players in that Montpellier zone, and frequently it's causing them to all be tight together. So there's space out on the wings most of the time.
Yes, and it looks like the Hamburg team are prepared to... Oh, that's a foul given there for paddles being just too close to the reaching hand. A little bit unlucky, could go either way. That referee quite clear. They're a lot closer than we are. But
I think Montpellier will be happy to take that foul, considering if the ball had dropped into the hands, she was one-on-one with the keeper there.
Absolutely, and it was Tony Lenz as well. So if they want a one-on-one with the keeper and they could pick who it would be her.
And they've taken it very quickly as soon as the whistle went there, caught Montpellier off guard, and again the goal's gone in.
Yeah. Well, if you give them a bit of time and space that close to the goal, they've got some good finishers. So
just a few lapses in concentration there, costing Montpellier through this game with those 3 goals.
Yeah, and a couple of minutes to go, so can Montpellier stick to the form they've found in the last couple of attacks and make themselves another goal? They certainly seem to have and again they've got a player going inside. They've certainly learned. They've
Spaces
certainly
there again.
changed it. Yeah.
Oh.
Again, that one just brought down by a bit of nice defending and happens to fall for the keeper. So.
And then we see Hamburg on the break. They're going to go for it.
And they're being pressed man for man immediately by Montpellier, so clearly there's been a bit of conversation amongst the team about what to do when they lose possession, because that's actually gone on quite quickly. And this is what we like to see. Montpellier's definitely going for this game. They're a goal down, but there's enough time. They need to work to turn over possession, and they're obviously quite happy to go for that. Oh, and as I say that, they've got number 4. He's drifting back towards the goal. I wonder if Annie Chevalier is off the game plan there, because at a goal down, the Hamburg team will scrub the best part of a minute off the clock without even thinking about it. And again,
that must have been the shot clock just running out there, I think, just going for the long.
Well, that's because that 5-out press had worked so well. I'm surprised they dropped away from it. Miscommunication.
So I think we have about 45 seconds to a minute left on this game now.
Yeah, we're certainly inside the last minute, and the shot clock's down to 55 seconds.
This will be close to Montpellier's last chance to get something from the game. They keep coming back every time Hamburg scores so far. So,
and again, as we see, they've changed the tactic. They're putting a player straight inside the zone to try and just mix things up, and because of it, they're getting closer. Again, I can't help thinking if they'd started the game doing that, the outcome might have been slightly different. But I think they're going to just run out of time now.
Paddle foul's been called there onto the goal, so that time should be out. Or no, they haven't stopped the clock at the moment.
No, we're still rolling, but I think we must be very close to time.
I know time has been stopped. I can see at the table there. So they're just timed out so they can set up this shot correctly. Would you expect them to shoot direct here, or to get out to the wing?
They can see the game clock. It depends very much how many seconds are left on the clock, and I think it must be seconds. Enough time to set up, lay off a shot, and try.
They took one quick pass there and went for it just to change the angle.
Still alive.
Still go.
There's obviously a little more time left than we can see on the main game clock. Whether there's enough,
It's been a holding foul called there, I think. So Hamburg's possession to see out the game now, surely.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And Montpellier have dropped back to a defence, so either they're happy to take a 1-goal loss, or Annie Chevalier dropping to the goal is not on the game plan, because realistically, we thought time was up a little while ago. It must be down to the last few seconds of this game, and if they allow Hamburg to just pass it around as they are doing on the halfway line, I think Hamburg will very sensibly just take a 1-goal win. Press is coming. And getting a fair bit of pressure on. Tony Lenz wrapping the ball up. I think that must be game time.
That's game time, yeah.
I've seen Tony do that a few times over the years. It comes down towards 5 seconds. Both hands go over the ball and that's it. Game over.
So a frustrating game there for Montpellier.
Yes, and Hamburg run out winners. 3-2. Technically very good. We could have done with a little bit more bite as an independent spectator, and we move on to the next game shortly.
Definitely won't be the last of either team we see in the competition. There's that nice finish there from Montpellier, top right-hand corner.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think possibly that was the Montpellier attitude in the last 30 seconds of that. They'll go around the block in the repechage game and come back. They didn't want to give too much. I think Hamburg had the better of them there, and they'll hope to do better when they meet them next time. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the next round of games. We'll see you all then.
Hi, welcome back to Nottingham to the European Club Championships 2018. And on pitch 1 at the moment, we have the start of the game between FOA Liverpool in the yellow buoyancy aids and blue boats, and IPA from Belgium in the blue buoyancy aids and black boats. First sprint won by FOA, and they're on their attack now, bringing the ball down the pitch.
Not often you see FOA in this yellow away strip. As the first name team, they were forced to change, sharing the colours with IPA.
Yeah, when both teams turn up with the same colour on, the referees will always make the first name team change their buoyancy aids, and that should be a completely contrasting colour on the opposite side, which Friends of Allenby have clearly in that bright yellow.
Despite that, both teams always wait until the very last second when they're told to change their colour. Everyone likes to play in their home colours.
They live in hope that the other team will change for them. So IPA now with the attack, just building an attack just outside the 6-metre area. Got players right in the centre of the FOA zone. And a shot there from IPA, but that goes way over the bar. And the ball's disappeared out of play.
I think it's taken a deflection. IPA don't seem to be turning around to come back. So this FOA team is full of British talent. There are 5 players on this team who played at the last World Championships. 3 of them for the under-21 men and 2 for the senior men. One of the FOA players was actually injured at the championships and is behind supporting the team at this event.
Yeah, he suffered quite a serious dislocation at the championships from a sprint start. Very unusual, just one of those events that happens. No one can change the course of.
It's great to see him here moving freely though. So some early pressure here by IPA, trying to get 2 people into the zone there and move them around. FOA are playing a very open defence there. They're trapping on the corner.
It is very wide. They've got players out chasing that ball down. They've got the ball back.
There's been a foul there, yeah.
Yeah. That long ball down the pitch didn't quite work there. IPA back on the attack now. And that's a great shot. And that's number 9, Jerome Zufis from IPA.
Lots of power on that shot. Despite going right down the middle and hitting the blade, it just turned the blade into the net.
FOA wasting no time getting back on this game. They've got 2 players right inside the Belgian zone.
Both teams starting with very similar tactics.
They are. They want that ball in there as soon as they can. FOA certainly letting the players get in there and drive the defence around. Shot from the outside there, but a great deflection. And that's a corner. FOA corner.
All the groups of this tournament are tough, but Group B is particularly tough, I'd say. FOA Liverpool, IPA, Montpellier, Libla, and Wildwater from Ireland.
Very good teams in there. These teams are all first or second placed in their country throughout the season to be able to represent at this championship. So you've only got the top 2 teams from each of the nations here. Very, very strong field. And that was another shot from Friends of Allenby there. The ball goes out of play.
Many of these players won't play in a World Championships event, so this will be the largest and most prestigious event they play in throughout their time playing polo.
It is a great event as well because they represent their country at a higher level. but to actually play with the people that they play with all year and train with all year is a fantastic opportunity. And these clubs work really hard to get to the standard that they're at.
Yeah, it also has the knock-on advantage of strengthening all the home leagues to qualify for this competition by making it a great option to compete within your home league to be able to win this at the end of it.
It is, and it is one of the best competitions of the year. It's always at the end of the season, so it's like the last competition of the year as well.
So still just the 1 goal to Ypres so far in this game. They seem quite happy to use their time, set up their play, seeing as they're 1 goal ahead. Still playing that 2-man into the zone, and happy to run down the clock at the back here until they're ready to make a play.
Both teams very strong here. You see the fights going on in the zone area with the attack and defence just jostling there. And that was a goal.
It's a goal for number 9, Ypres, Jerome Safis.
Second goal for Ypres and second goal for Jerome. See what answers FOA have to this. They're not known to sit back and just wait for things to happen. They will work hard.
Well, they have no choice now but to really chase it.
Some fantastic blocking in the defence there. Frans Valenby with the ball. Looking for that space, looking for that shot.
Ypres' defence currently doing a slightly better job of keeping those attackers out.
They seem a little bit tighter than the FOA defence were.
That was a nice effort there, switching the play across the front of the zone, giving the shooter just a tiny bit of space.
Corner ball to FOA. Great block there.
Very, very well read. And they've got a chance on the break now here if he can get it away. Well blocked.
And a long shot there, but that's out for a goal line throw. So Frans Valenby have possession again now. Frans Valenby 2 goals down.
Still trying to condense that zone there with the 2 players inside of it.
It's all very tight in there though with the defenders and the attackers. Not a lot of space.
As soon as the shooter comes in, they've got 3 or 4 paddles up in their face there. It's very impressive tracking of the ball.
It was a great pass across, but again, that's a save by the keeper.
I think it took 2 frames there as well on the way.
That pass just slightly too long there.
So the ball's gone long to Andreas Iversen. A member of the Danish national team that has been playing with FOA throughout the summer.
Just got the clock stopped on the pitch.
Referee wants to have a talk here to Andreas.
Frans Valenby based in Liverpool in Great Britain, and Ypres Canoe Club from the famous town of Ypres in Belgium.
Very recently hosted their yearly competition, one of the largest. So this break in play is frustrating for FOA. 2 goals down, they obviously want to get on with the game, and this has broken their attack, but they can use the opportunity to have a little chat, so some of them talking to each other, having a think about how they can get that ball right where they want it.
So that's a holding offence that the referee's indicated there.
So no cards there, just a chat, probably just to calm things down a bit. Frustrating being 2 goals down. Good length play through the back there with their goalkeeper.
FOA have dropped the ball there. Ypres with possession now. Quickly away.
Got to cover this break quickly. They seem to be doing quite well, FOA, to shut this down. Of course, if the break isn't on, Ypres won't go for it, he says, and then they do. So FOA win the ball back, and they've got their own break now. Very quick young players on this FOA side.
2 against 1 there. FOA player looking for the foul, but the referee
All the
says
players
no
seem to have
foul.
stopped, no foul given. That was the first real opportunity for FOA in the game. Clear opportunity, at least.
Ypres with a 2-goal lead, just taking their time and building their attack.
We're over halfway through this first half now, so at the moment FOA is still comfortable to sit in the zone, even though they are 2 goals down. They know that they have the option to punch out on the team and put them under real pressure with a 5-out press. They've not chosen to do that yet. This must be towards the end of the clock, because I don't see any reason why Ypres would be doing their own 5-man press right now. It would be a strange tactic at 2-0 up to do so.
Referee's blowing there.
Nicely
Stop
worked.
this game.
And we're on timeout. That goal will not stand. There was a foul before then.
So Ypres possession from the referees there.
Seems to be a paddle foul that was that happened during that 5-out press by one of the players that was trying to get free. So Ypres have got the ball back.
FOA defending that. They've got the ball back from the defence. Loose ball going in there. Long shot, but
And that will be time.
touchdown.
There we go.
And that's half time. So we're going to half time with Ypres leading 2-0.
So an impressive tactic there by Ypres at the end to press out with less than a minute left on the clock. Really try and slow the clock down and prevent them from taking that final shot. What do you think FOA can change for the second half, Lynn?
I think they're going to have to be a bit more aggressive on their attack, try and get players in, get movement going, and open up some spaces in the defensive zone of the Ypres team.
They seem to have set players who play within the zone there, and then they've got that link through the back through their goalkeeper.
Yeah, they're working the ball round well, but it's the odd mistakes that are letting them down and passing into the key players for the shots. So Ypres won't want to let them into their zone. They're going to try and close it down. We saw at the end they're happy to come out and play 5-out if they need to. At the moment, Ypres don't need to, but FOA might need to if they want to get the ball back off them.
And FOA have lost in this competition so far to Liblar this morning, I believe. So you would expect them to want to press out and attack this game.
Definitely.
In the second half. So we should be in for a good second half here either way.
Yeah, definitely. It is a long season for some of these FOA players. Like you say, 5 of them representing their country. So that's club tournaments throughout the year, international tournaments, international training weekends for the GB squads. So it's a long season for a lot of them. Coming to the end of it now, and this is the final tournament of the year. So they won't want to go out. They'll want to give everything they've got left for this year.
And they don't get much of a break before the start of their home seasons either at the moment. It's quite continuous this year between all the large events, the way that they fall in.
Leagues start soon.
So if they want to qualify for this event next year, they're going to have to stay in good shape and stay ready and switched on.
They're lining up now for the second half.
Anton Dennis versus Andreas Iversen here on the sprint. And Andreas just got his hands there first. So FOA will start this half with possession. It'll be interesting to see if they had a chat at half time and have changed any aspect of their attack to try and get through this zone.
They're still being very patient at the moment.
Corner's been won there.
That was a great
Strong shot there from Jack Playford. Testing the goalkeeper's reactions. Good save though.
Very good.
And that was better. They managed to open up space for that attack to come in from that side.
They did. Again, the defence working well to save the shot. A very quick arm there from Jack.
So from the shot, they get a whole new minute. FOA just taking a second to set up their attack here, get back in position. You see there they've changed the link player. They've now got their goalkeeper playing wide rather than down the middle.
It's Jack Playford in the middle there. Shot
Unlucky off the top bar.
bar.
That's much better attack from FOA though. They're making a lot more clear-cut opportunities at the start of this second half.
So corner again to FOA. They need to find something fairly quickly in this half. They're 2 goals down. Another shot there.
Managed to regain possession, so they should get another minute if they want it, but they shoot again.
And possession picked up.
And now they are vulnerable on the break with 4 EPA players behind. FOA were quite committed to that attack. Goalkeeper's just making it back. That's a really good save.
They were a bit slow to react there, were FOA, but they made the save in the end.
Yeah, blind save over his shoulder, essentially still coming back into the goal. So a bit of a get out of jail free card for FOA there.
Still need to put a lot of work in. They need the ball back. They're the ones that are 2 goals down. They need to get something working.
And EPA know that too, so they're again quite comfortably sitting. We saw them do this in the first half, 1-0 up. Just pass the ball around the back, wait for until 15 seconds or so left on the shot clock, and then make the run.
Yeah, they're not in any hurry. They're comfortable there with their 2-goal lead.
The other advantage for them doing this is they know when they're going to shoot, so the rest of their team can turn around and get back and prevent the break. And that's well worked again, and another really good save there by Sevan McCutcheon.
Long ball out for EPA.
There we go, FOA putting a lot more pressure on them, but as a result of that pressure, they left a man under the goal, and some really nice slick passing by EPA there managed to get him the ball. And we're now to 3-0 for EPA.
And that's Lewis Verstraete with the goal for EPA this time.
So FOA really will have to switch it up now. I would expect them to be pushing out hard if they want to get something from this game at the next loss of possession. Great shot there. And that's the first of 3 back then.
It is.
Andreas Iverson with the goal there.
They need to keep putting the pressure on now. They want that ball back. Looks like they're going straight onto 5 out, man-to-man marking here.
2 goals down. There's still something in this game for them. There's still plenty of time to get those 2 goals. This IPA team is very experienced, though, especially against 5 out.
They are, and we must remember that the Friends of Allenby team are still quite a young team. The players that have represented senior men this year are only fairly new to that category, so...
The 5 out press is really one of those areas when you're under the press where experience counts for everything, knowing when to pass, knowing when you're safe on the ball, knowing where your teammates are as well. So work for FOA that time, though. They got the ball back well before the minute had run down on IPA's possession that time.
They're looking to build here. Still need that bit of space. The shot went, but
Almost
not
a carbon copy of the same shot from Andreas there that time.
Not quite as successful this time. A corner ball.
And again, and this time it has gone in. So Andreas has scored his 2nd goal of the game, and we're to 3-2 between IPA and FOA.
Plenty of time left on the clock for this to come back.
And you can imagine being 3-0 up, now 3-2, the nerves might start getting to IPA, although I doubt it.
FOA still pressing, 5 out press. But there's a man free there. Have they got that covered?
Oh, he went for the behind the back pass and got it cut out there. That could be really costly for them. FOA are now on the break. All the IPA zone are currently not in position.
FOA with 3 players.
It's really
as well.
nice presser on Jack Playford there by that IPA player, number 8.
IPA drop back into their defence.
FOA still have the ball here. Oh, off the bar and straight to the IPA player who had their own man on the break. Is he going to send the ball? He does. This is a straight race now.
Good touch there from Jack Playford.
Ball seemed to be coming right behind the player there, so he couldn't see where it was. And fortunately for the FOA player, he could see it coming over his shoulder and managed to make the block. So not long left on this game. Finally balanced at 3-2 at the moment to IPA. FOA have a lot more bite and attack in this 2nd half. Seem to be positioning for a foul that's taken place under the goal. Referees just taking their time to position it exactly where the foul took place to give FOA the maximum advantage. And shot missed there, so a goal throw.
FOA marking man-to-man again. Going to have to work hard to regain possession.
I don't believe there's long left on the clock now as well, so timeout here for another foul. Who's this gone against? It's gone against FOA. Number 7 there. Harvey Birch committing a paddle foul on the 5 out, which is unfortunate because they were just about to win the ball back. In these 5 out situations, there's so much for the referees to watch. 5 sets of players all trying to win space.
And that's a goal throw to FOA, just touched out over the back line by the IPA player.
Oh, didn't see the pressure coming from behind there.
FOA putting pressure on these EPA players, but they're just holding that ball from them. They'll use the full minute here.
So we don't have the game clock visible at the moment, but there can't be long left on this game. It's been almost continuous 5 out for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Great pressure there from Jack Playford, and he's managed to win the ball free on an open net. Can he finish this? Oh, it slides under the bar. What an opportunity.
That's the best opportunity they've had all game, I think.
Oh, off the
Shot
bar.
from EPA, but off the bottom bar and bounces back into play.
Is that still in play? Nothing seems to have been called. It was still in play, and that's game over.
So, Friends of Allenby 2 and EPA 3. Next game on pitch 1 that we'll have for you is a women's game with AD Pinaturans and Polisportiva Canoe. We'll be back with you shortly.
And welcome back to the slightly late 12 o'clock game in the women's group at the European Club Championships. We have Pinarense from Spain and Catania from Italy. Catania in Sicily, a very beautiful part of Italy, and Sicily host to the World Championships in 2016. And this is a Group D game, the last, I think, of the small Group D games between the teams. The ladies category played in mini groups of 3, so effectively every game counts, guaranteeing you an easier group game going forwards. So both of these teams looking to get something out of the game. 2 Mediterranean cousins of us travelling up from the very warm country as the temperature drops into the meteorological autumn in Great Britain. September weather today around 12 degrees, little grey, little drizzly. Certainly not what our Sicilian or Spanish friends will be used to. But still, I'm sure they're loving every minute of it. Teams going through the last minute warm-ups. The referee's being given the hurry up by referee organiser, trying to get this 12 o'clock game underway. Players from both of these teams forming part of their national team that were at the World Championships in Welland. And again, both of these teams will have been successful in their national Division 1. The Pinaterense team from Spain were the winners of the Spanish National Ladies League. Sponsored by Iberdrola, a Spanish energy company, which they're very grateful, allows them to travel, train, to a great extent part of the reason that they're here. Obviously all these polo teams will chase around for whatever financial support they can find, anything making a big contribution to the overall travel costs. The Catania team in the blue kayaks, blue buoyant shades and white helmets. 5th at the European Club Championships last year and hoping to do better than that this time. Italian senior women of this managed to beat France in the 3rd, 4th playoff and put themselves on the podium in the women's category. Bronze medal place, and congratulations to them. The Spanish senior women were 8th, and the Spanish under-21 women, both represented in this team from Pinaterense, were 7th. So some international players here as well as club. Obviously these club members play, train and prepare day in, day out with each other. And this ladies' game, crucial to them both. So as soon as everything is in place, I'm sure we'll be underway. Referees dropping a ball in. It looks as if we are waiting on the officials. Team's ready, but the officials not all in place just yet. As soon as we can, we'll be to the action in this game. Ladies group game, Group D. Apparently a paperwork issue holding this game, unfortunately. We've just received word that there is an issue with the accreditation passes not being available for the officials table for one of the teams, and they're being sought. We apologise for this delay.
Table needs to be confident before every game that all the appropriate players for each team are there and that no additional players have joined.
Yes, there have been precedent for this before, but it's obviously causing us a little bit of a delay here. Hopefully we'll be able to make this up by shunting a game around. But difficult for us, difficult for the players to keep warm. They'll have prepared for a game slot that they're now just sitting out in that breeze, trying to keep the muscles moving.
I think
warm.
Breeze is polite. On the stream it looks relatively pleasant. It's quite cold out there at the moment, actually, with the wind chill.
And as I say, these players not particularly used to it. It will be a little uncomfortable. They're picking themselves up, but this delay is a real pity from everybody's point of view. Hard to know what to say to mitigate this situation. Really, I can't help thinking that they could start the game, threaten to disqualify a team if they've got an ineligible player, and progress things, but I'm sure we'll be underway shortly.
I think that's the accreditation arriving now, so we shouldn't be long. It looks like quite a lot of these Spanish and Italian ladies don't actually own a thermal rash vest.
Well, I think probably, I said earlier on the live stream, I ran a course in Spain some years ago and was actually asked a question how it was possible to train when the weather went below 10 degrees. And I explained to the person then, as I have to others in the past, every nation works with what they've got. If you're Spanish and Mediterranean, then you can paddle comfortably year-round outside on your local harbour or canal or river. If you live in Canada, then for 4 or 5 months of the year, you're limited to paddling inside, and every nation deals with the challenges it faces. In Australia, they have air-conditioned swimming pools to keep it cool enough to paddle in the summer. So each nation has to find its way, but as you rightly say, David, some of these lady paddlers will not have the same kind of thermal kit that the Northern European friends would expect to have, and they will be feeling this delay worse than most. It looks like the referees and the teams are now ready, and we will finally get this 12 o'clock game underway. So we have in the blue the Catania team from Italy, and in the red the Pinaterense team from Spain. And finally we get underway. The sprint start won comfortably by Catania and turned away, and the first half of this 2 10-minute half game is underway. First possession falling to the Italian team, Catania.
That's Roberta Catania who won that. Unsure if she's named after her team or the team named after her, but
Catania, obviously a beautiful city, airport city, hub airport. Airport's at Catania. It was the hub airport for the Syracuse World Championships. So again, these ladies would have played at home there, and they've played in Welland, and now here they are.
Well, hopefully they've had the chance to see the lovely town of Nottingham here as well.
A lot of similarities with the port town of Catania, I'm sure.
So a bit of scrap early on there to gain possession. This is the first attack for the Spanish team since the sprint.
Yes, and I suspect it'll take a minute or two for this game to get up to full speed. Ladies having been cold and cooled down, they'll soon forget about that now that things are moving on. And in this game, this is a crucial game in their 3-team group. The other team in this group is a German team from Coburg.
Nice shot there, well saved. It's quite admirable that 4 of the Spanish players here are using borrowed equipment. Their boats did not arrive in time for this competition back from the World Championships. So they are using equipment completely unfamiliar to them and quite different to the boats they would usually use back in Spain. And it's great to see them make it all the way out here to continue to play despite that.
Yes, and good to see that the organisers have managed to find them boats to borrow from the hosting committee. Generous sport, people very cooperative, and the gap has been closed up. May not be the boat they're used to, but they've all been found quite reasonable boats to compete in. And I suspect once they're into the game, it'll just be a matter of business as usual. But Spanish enjoying the better of it at the moment.
It's not affecting them at all right now, that's for sure.
No, Pinatorense, they've been on the front foot. No really clear-cut, obvious opportunity, but certainly having the better of this. Didn't win the start. They've had the share of the possession so far.
Confident possession of the ball. Nice ball there inside. Just fading away from the angle on the goal there to take that shot.
As I mentioned earlier, the Italian women's team that some of these players belong to got a bronze medal in Welland. That's the first senior category women's medal that Italy have won. So a big step up for them, and they've got some finishing power there. That was Martina.
And there we go.
Anastasi managed to force it in. She's one of their
senior. She takes the first goal as well.
Yeah. And you can see the class difference sometimes in the power of the athletes, the ones that have made it to the national team. These are their friends, people they train with day in, day out, but they're the ones who've been selected for the glory job.
Just afforded her a little bit too much space on the rebound there. The first one, she had to work a little harder to get it through the paddles. That time she was just left unmarked.
Certainly no waiting around to reply from the Pinatorense team. They're back up, firing away straight away. Corner ball. Referees now keeping the game ticking over. Shot clock resets, obviously, as the shot's taken to force that corner. Beatrice Cavado running the point for them, bossing the plays, trying to find inside passes. Two Spanish players inside trying to disrupt the Italian defence, and a ball coming inside, a big free arm there. Oh, that's nicely taken, very, very nicely taken.
That took
that's
all three bars
Lydia
in the way.
Solas. Got a right arm free, a little bit of time, and actually a really, really nice finish. Almost unstoppable, and in that case unstoppable. Now, Honours tied at 1-1.
So a really good start to this ladies' game. Both teams moving the ball fluidly, confident in attack, some really nice shooting.
It's been quite a balanced game. Both teams playing technically quite well, making some passes, making the odd mistake. And Honours even until I curse them. But that's the Catania team, Victoria Rossello. Again, any of these top players, when they get a little bit of time with a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, that's 2-1 now to the Catania team because they get a good chance and they score. At the international level, you'll perhaps get goalkeepers of another calibre, but when we get these slight mismatch, the finishes there have just been superb for both teams. Absolute object lesson in making time so that your shooter can pick their spot and score.
Nice ball inside, just ricocheted off the boat there.
Yeah,
Didn't manage to get it.
couldn't quite get in control of it. Nice try again, just trying. Clearly both teams got a similar game plan. Get somebody inside with a bit of space and find them the ball. There's been a foul committed. Oh no, corner ball.
Yeah, they were quite lucky to get that back there. Pinatorense just rolled off the Italian boat as well.
A lot of space on the right-hand side. Driving, trying to find a gap in the middle of the defence. Again, yeah.
The pop in. Well blocked that.
Yes, I think that was a bit of a speculative pass, and they've paid the price. This is the first real fast break we've seen from the Catania team, but broken down with a weak pass, as so often can be the case.
The ball's coming right down the middle.
But,
Shot straight off. She had another player wide there, just
Yeah.
apologising to her there afterwards.
Yeah, I think the pass was the option there, and she realised it just a little bit too late. That's Beatriz Quevedo in the Spanish goal, and I think probably the shot coming from 6 metres or 5 metres was well within her capability. They did have the chance to come on and get a bit closer to her, but not taken. And
Nice passing.
Yes, and this is a nice opening coming. Yeah.
Good save there.
It looks like the Catania team keen to rain a little bit of pressure down on their Spanish counterparts, but Pinaturense looking pretty solid when their set defends. Yeah, same
Nice
story.
slick passing.
Yeah, very nicely done, and yeah, that's a pretty clear-cut paddle foul. Shot closed down very, very quickly, and the referee seeing it as a foul. Looked quite likely it was from here.
Just taking their time to position it to the exact spot.
Holding the ball, testing that. You've got 5 seconds when you're in position and possession of the ball to take a shot. And I would say that was on the limit of it. A shot away there. Catania players calling for an offence, but nothing doing. They get a corner ball. I'm guessing at 2-1 ahead. If they can just keep this pressure on, sooner or later they'll either score or the clock will become their friend and they'll win the game. But a long, long way to go. I really don't want to spend a long time up here and get no goal for it. Otherwise, the Spanish will start to think they've got a real toehold in this game, which, of course, at the moment they still have.
Pinaturense starting to play right on the limit of what the referee will call there. Lots of paddles and arms going in all over the place now.
Yes, they've realised that if they can stop the Italians getting the ball inside, then the goalkeeper's up to the job, and that's where they've started to get a little bit spicy about doing that.
Just have to be careful they stay on the right side of the referee for around
Yes, quite a lively game.
Well taken.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of everything in this game.
There's a little bit of a press going on at the moment, but Catania coming back now.
I think they're chasing with 4. Not uncommon in the ladies' game, particularly at club level, thinking that 4 of their players can force an error. Not been the case here. Pinaturense have been up to it and managed to pass the ball, and I think she's overrun that a bit close to the line.
Did well to get that out. Great finish.
Cut back, fair play, cut back from the goal line.
It was a nice fake there. She was looking away before she took that shot.
And that
Sure
Sonia Garcia
expecting
actually finally got the chance. And it was really, because I thought she'd overrun that, and she probably had, but when she cut it back, it just made that bit of space for Sonia Garcia, and she finished it. So, 2-2.
Well, I think we were both expecting that ball to come back out again.
Yeah. Probably us and the Italian goalkeeper. But 2-2 coming into the last couple of minutes of this half.
So this game is all to play for.
Yeah. And again, that it has rattled them. It's rattled the Catania team. This Pinaturense coming back in, because we've just seen 2 weak passes that's resulted in a turnover of possession that in the first part of this half would not have happened. That's a very tidy pass to settle them down. They're playing very well now, Pinaturense. They've got into this game.
They're very comfortable under pressure.
Yeah. The mood swing of this game has definitely gone the way of the Spanish team now. Whether before half-time Catania can get back on top
and
of
that's
it
the
or
half
not
there,
is
yeah.
another
That's
matter.
a long
So, interesting half-time talks today. I mean, I think at the end of that half, coming back to 2-2, the Pinaturense team from Spain probably got the upper hand slightly, having been behind all half. And I don't know if we got a coach with the Catania team or if they're self-coached, but they really need to get back into the driving seat that they were for 8 minutes of the game.
Catania have 2 coaches here with them, so I'm sure they'll have lots of words of encouragement and try and change up the tactics. Just looked like they began to flag a little bit at the end of that first half. Definitely, as you said, Pinaturense in the ascendancy towards the end there.
Yeah, I think it was more about just a shift in who was in the dominant driving seat of the game, and it just moved from one to the other. But definitely, without a doubt, in the dying minute of that half, Pinatorenzi managed to steal the initiative and make it pay. And they've got themselves back in this game. I think probably if I was a gambling man, they'd be my favourites to win it. But of course, coaching staff down at the Catania end have got to earn their salt now. They've got to turn this round, get them back on top, get their confidence back up, fire them up. Let's get out there and go and get back on top, because clearly for 8 minutes they were the dominant side. Both teams playing fairly tidy polo, fairly accurate, working to a plan, executing that plan fairly well. But in the end we're tied at 2. 10 minutes to sort out the stronger team and decide Group D. The 3-minute half-time is going to seem awfully short for the Catania coach, who wants to try and get them back on level heads. I'd be saying we are the better team. We proved we're the better team for 8 minutes at that half. Let's get out there and prove it for the next 10. If I was the Pinatorenzi coach, I'd be saying we've turned this game around. It's all ours now. Let's go and win it. This first sprint could be crucial for how those teams believe each of their half-time team talks. So as the referee lines them up, we'll get our next charge start. And here we go. Second half, 10 minutes to play, 2-2. Who's going to get the first edge here?
Where has the ball gone?
The ball went under the kayaks, and that's picked up by Catania. Not sure either team truly won it, but at the end of the day, Silvia Cogoni for Catania picks the ball up, and she'll call that a win. So, can they get their foot back on this game? I need to get the clinical passes of the beginning of the first half back. You can see the dander of the Pinatorenzi team is up. They're ready to chase anything now. Great job of turning the game around, but that is the way to answer it. That is absolutely the game plan that they will have discussed at half-time. Silvia Cogoni for Catania, space inside, ball delivered hard into her hands, and no mistake on the finish. Now, have they turned the momentum back their way? This is for Catania to prove him, Pinatorenzi to take it back off them, but that was a beautifully crafted goal. Those watching at home, that is how you do it. 2 or 3 accurate passes, the final one inside, no doubt about it, into the hands, and a lovely finish.
Despite that control from the Spanish team towards the end of the first half, it's the Italian Catania team who are up at the start of the second.
And it depends if that shifts the momentum of the game. It may well do, because suddenly it's the Pinatorenzi team making the difference. And this is what coaches can learn from. These games hinge on one good play. That one good goal has turned this now, and it's not just the goal that matters, it's the whole attitude of the players. The aggression now that the Catania team are showing is because their confidence is back.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yep.
That ball's just made it through.
And this is the ebb and flow of a game. This can be the decisive thing. And that's it, prepared, confident to take a chance. And because of it, Martina Anastasi has scored them another goal, and that's a 2-goal lead within the first 2 minutes virtually of the second half.
Not
Amazing.
the strongest shot. She went with almost the low power loop there just to try and catch the goalkeeper out.
Yep, and
just
it worked.
managed it.
If it's in, it's in. And now suddenly a game that was tied at 2 minutes into the half, it's 4-2 to Catania. Their coach, you see, that's where coaches earn their place. Somebody who can motivate you, tell you what to do, and get you to execute that plan. Superbly done from them. Obviously, Pinatorenzi now, this is their test of character. They've did it in the first half, now they need to do it in the second. Come from behind, swing this game around.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they do need to go for the 5-out press, how
They're certainly
how they will manage that.
They're certainly chancing it.
Oh, almost
And
a chance
again,
to
is
kill the
that
game
another
there.
defining moment? Yep. Will that come back to haunt them? Because that's going to be a goal line throw for Pinatorenzi. There was a big chance with time to go.
This is an interesting tactical decision. They've gone 2 goals up, but yet they're still pressing 5 out against the team.
Superb. This is great for us. Again, if it works, coach is a hero. If it goes wrong, it's been, why on earth did you pick that tactic? great to see, though. Great to see that ladies teams are prepared to mix up and change up the tactics.
And it's worked. They've gotten the ball back.
Yes. A few years ago, they simply would not have done that. A ladies team would have stuck to one game plan through the game. Now, we've got multiple teams that are very happy to shift and change tactics through the game.
There's still plenty of time left in this half, though.
Yeah.
And we saw how much the momentum swinged in the first half, so there's still time for this.
Yep. And again, they've had a little good period of play, Penitentiary, and this
well
is the
won
kind
back.
of thing that turned it around.
Oh,
that's a real battle. They're crucial battles. There's been a foul there. That goes to Penitentiary. And again, this is the kind of thing that can shift things. Oh,
I know, they've reversed the decision. It's gone back to Catania.
some lovely passing going there, because that was a hard, low pass, beautifully collected and a good shot away. Pinterenzi have done well to weather that after the turnover of the foul awarded to Catania. That could have let their heads drop, and instead they defended really well there.
Catania's shooter unlucky to hit the bottom of the bar there. Had done really well to avoid making any contact with the goalkeeper, which is illegal. Nice finish.
That's very nicely done. Flavia Landolina.
Two defenders' paddles in her face and the goalkeeper's paddle to contend with, and she still managed to find a gap.
Yeah, a very nice gap, and that could actually finish it. We're into the last 5 minutes of the game and a 3-goal lead. Well, they pulled it back from 2 down in the first half. Can they pull it back from 3 down in the second? Penitentiary get the chance to prove whether they can or not.
You have to expect them to stay up and push if they lose this ball now.
Yes. They were willing to do that before. They'll do it again, I've got no doubt. Clearly just having a little talk across the back line about what to do next. They've got to execute some plan pretty quickly, or they're going to just run out of time. And this is it. Oh, a weak pass. A weak pass will just kill you there, because you've put in the hard work, you've got the gaps have been created, and then it's just gone, and that is hard. When you're 3 down, just to waste an opportunity like that hurts.
So Penitentiary have headed straight back. They've not gone for the 5 press.
Yeah.
Slightly uncomfortable.
I wonder if it's damage limitation for them now. Seems a shame that they've made that decision.
They have won the ball back though. And again, the Catania team tried to pick them up.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think probably Catania are leading by 3, and deservedly so. They've been quite happy to ring the changes and deal with whatever's been thrown at them by Penitentiary, and because of that, they've dealt with it. And I have to say all credit to them at half-time. Penitentiary got back into the game, and in the second half, Catania have definitely been the better of the 2 teams. Yeah,
the tactical changes by Catania at half-time. This press, the change in attack with a little more speed and aggression, that set play that got them the first goal really has made the difference.
Yes. And I think that's where you can credit a coach. They've got a coach, somebody who's actually managed to rally them together when things could have easily got away from them. And now, as they put that in, and a longish shot from the outside edge, and that goes in, and that's another goal for Silvia Cugoni.
Into the bottom right-hand corner there.
Yeah, and I'm afraid now that Penitentiary team are probably going to struggle to keep themselves going here. They may well just kill off the clock. I'm sure they'll keep coming forwards, but I suspect in their hearts now they know that this game is just about done.
And Catania have eased off as well now. They're quite happy with their 6-2 lead.
Drop back, covering the goal.
No point wasting further energy when they've got big games to come still as well.
Coming down to the last couple of minutes. Yeah, the Catania team just looking confident now. They're quite relaxed, yes, I think. And that's how it goes. The good teams can do it when they're 1 goal up in the first half. It's taken this team to deep into the second half to really get in their groove, a place where they're comfortable. They know they've got this game in the bag, and the blocking comes quite easy. The work rate is just a little bit easier to come by, and you seem to be able to get everything to fall for you, and that's where the Catania team have ended up now.
And that's the experience of their 4 senior Italian women as well coming through, I'm sure. The ability to know when to press on the game and when to save energy for future games.
Very nicely saved down and dropped down, and then the classic schoolboy goalkeeping error of swinging your arm back to launch a big ball forwards and taking it off the back line. That hurts. That's just a shame. And again, goalkeepers the world over will sympathise. Anna Esposito there, the unlucky goalkeeper, just giving away possession for free.
So not long at all left on this game now. Minute and a half or so. This is the first real long period of possession the Spanish team have had in this half after being out on the press the whole time.
That was a very speculative pass inside, but it came off, but unable to capitalise. Sonia Garcia.
So a last play here for the Pinatorense team to try and get another goal from this game and improve their goal difference going forward in this tight game of 3.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's where they're at. But if they see out the game on the attack, at least it won't feel so bad.
But they haven't managed that. Catania have taken the ball back there due to a foul, and they're on the break. Can they get the clear pass away? Nice fint pass. Oh, unlucky off the bar. Did really well on the second time to get that ball away.
Now this really should be the last phase of play. Pinatorense have broken the 5 out, but
there we go, time over.
Not with enough time to finish it.
So a really good first half there. Second half, Catania showed their experience to pull through, but a really good ladies game.
Yep, nicely turned around, and we'll have the next game. We'll be starting very shortly, as quick as we can turn them around. That will be a men's game between Canoe from Poland and Viking Venlo from the Netherlands.
Just a little update for anyone waiting for the next game at the moment. The game versus Viking Venlo and Odysseus is currently taking place on pitch 4 due to a time constraint issue. Versus UKS Set Canoe. It's the Polish team UKS Set Canoe against Viking Venlo, currently happening on pitch 4. I can tell you that that is 0-0 at the moment. The next game on pitch 1 and therefore on the live stream will be Ghent versus Odysseus, and that will be happening in 10 minutes time at 1 o'clock.
Okay, welcome back to Nottingham for the European Canoe Polo Club Championships 2018. We're back on track now with the correct game at 1 o'clock just starting, and we have Ghent in the grey buoyancy aids and black boats, in the blue buoyancy aids and black boats, and Odysseus in the grey buoyancy aids and black boats. Odysseus from the Netherlands and Ghent from Belgium.
These two teams know each other very well. Not a large amount of distance between them.
There's a big range of summer tournaments across Europe as well, which both teams will take part in.
Paddle foul given there against Ghent.
It's a long
pass.
ball.
Didn't come off though. Just handed possession straight back to Ghent there. Odysseus haven't really had the ball yet either, so bizarre to try and send that pass as long as he did.
One long ball up the pitch and out of possession again. So it's a mistake really. If they'd play the ball around and just take their time a little bit, they could have possibly made something of that.
So Ghent getting plenty of time on the ball here early on.
So these teams part of Group D with Ciencias, Ghent, Odysseus and Catania. This is the group which only has 4 teams in, all the others playing with 5 teams.
That means all 4 teams will move through to the next stage of the competition and still be in the chance of winning the competition, but these games are still really important to determine their position in the group and make their next stage as easy as possible.
Like all these European teams, nobody wants to lose these games in the group stages. Makes life harder the more games you lose later on.
Yeah, none of these players like losing, that's for sure. It doesn't matter which game it is in which competition. All extremely competitive. Putting some nice passing together so far. Just playing through their minute of possession and using it well.
They've got that ball right into the centre of the zone there. Shot went, but they've picked it up again.
Had no option but to take the shot, but it came back to him, so they're fortunate to get another minute on the clock before the foul.
Odysseus happy to defend here. They're just holding their line, keeping that ball out as far as they can. Ghent now with a player inside. He'll be looking for that ball to come in. Shot again, but blocked down by the keeper.
This Odysseus team play a really tight defence to break down. 3 of the Netherlands senior men's team are part of this Odysseus team. The Dutch men's team positioned 6th at the most recent World Championships earlier this year. So really strong in defence. Nice passing there to make the opportunity. Decided against it.
And long ball over the top there. So Odysseus have possession now. See if they can make a bit more of this one than they did earlier.
Odysseus will be happy they comfortably rode both of those periods of possession from Ghent. Odysseus playing a lot tighter to the zone here than Ghent were. Ghent were making nice distance runs. Odysseus are trying to move it in close and tight.
And Ghent seem to be letting them do that at the moment, so they're building that attack and being able to get the ball into the zone area.
Nice pass over the top of the head there. Really powerful shot. Was that deflected off the bar? No, it took a deflection on the way through, so it will go for a corner and they get another attack.
Tackle taken well by the Odysseus team. Keep possession. Look at two players trying to get into the centre there. One in now. Looking to make space in that defence, but
Get it back there from the rebound, and they're breaking very fast down the middle. The long ball does come. Lands on the side of Odysseus. You'd expect him to clean this up, which he does. Under pressure to get that ball away. It's taken a deflection. It's worked out for him, though. So Odysseus will have the ball at halfway. So they play quickly.
and a goal line throw that just bounces off the top bar. Against possession again.
Went for that lob shot rather than the power. Try and catch the keeper out. So some really good chances for both teams in this first half so far.
Great shot there,
Really
but saved. Remco van Villet, the goalkeeper there for the Dutch side.
And that was a really good opportunity from our point of view. You could see he had a completely clear shot on the goal there. So the keeper did really well to get rid of that.
Ghent now just building their next attack.
You can see there are two players in the middle there trying to draw the zone apart, make some space. In the end, they've tried to go between them right down the middle.
Good ball in there. Blocked again.
Really nice defense by Odysseus there to stop all three of those players coming through the middle. I'm not sure the rest of Ghent knew that he was trying to go right the way through there.
Bit more communication required, I think.
Ghent as a team do run quite a lot of set plays. You'll see them set up to run set plays. At the moment, they seem to be playing fluidly, though.
They're not taking the chances that they don't feel are on either, which is great. They're just recycling the ball and going back out and building it again.
Yeah, really good holding of the possession of the ball until the right time. And that works when it's a draw or you're up, but as soon as you go down, that becomes even more difficult to do in a controlled manner. Almost lost the ball there, but got it back. Foul's been given here against Ghent. Oh. So the player is claiming that he didn't know that the possession had been turned over. So it'll be interesting to see if the referee agrees that that's the case. He does not. So the Ghent player has been given a green card for illegal sportsmanship there. If he knew and did that intentionally, then I think he'll be quite happy with that outcome because it prevented a break there for Odysseus. Cynical, though.
Yeah, the unsportsmanlike behaviour warning is one that's used sometimes when really it gives the player the benefit of the doubt. If the referee thought it was deliberate and cynical, they would probably have got a yellow card for
Odysseus unhappy with that call. You can see them frustrated. I think from our point of view, Odysseus didn't seem to have a man through there, so there wasn't a breaking opportunity on clearly in terms of thinking towards a penalty decision. So they'll be able to hear down there better than we can as to whether that call was made clearly across the pitch enough.
Odysseus working hard up there. Great shot. Ball drops though for Ghent.
So not long left on this first half now. This might be the last play of the half.
No score yet.
Is that pass inside on? He's decided not to give it, put it back out.
It's been quite a number of shots in this first half, but none of them resulted in goals yet.
Well, some nice saves as well. Some well-worked opportunities that have taken the last man to stop it.
Definitely the defence on the upper hand here, I think, from both teams.
I don't think either team will be particularly disappointed in their performance. Just not quite finding that killer edge at the moment. That's a nice pass under pressure. Left him one on. Can he finish? He does. Really nice finish. Top left-hand corner.
And that's Bert van Nick. And that's the first goal of this game. One-on-one with the goalkeeper there. And well finished.
So Odysseus took a quick shot there. I'm assuming that means that it's about to be half-time. You can see Odysseus just pressured out to them there just before that goal, and it left them just enough space to manage to get the ball away. We've got time off here. There can only be seconds left on the clock at this stage.
So corner ball to Odysseus. See if they can do anything with this.
Expect this shot to come flying fairly soon. There it is. Straight off the bar and out.
Goal line throw.
And there we go, there's half time.
So we're going to the end of the first half with Ghent
1-0
1-0 up.
A really tight game though. You can definitely see Odysseus getting back into this at the start of the second half. Ghent probably worth the 1-0 lead at the moment, I'd say.
I think they've certainly had a few more shots than the others. They made the most of that opportunity. That one-on-one with the goalkeeper was ideal. I think that's the first time we've had a one-on-one in the game. So yeah, both teams will be working hard to keep. Ghent will want to keep that lead. Odysseus won't be happy with them having it.
And at the end of the first half, that's a textbook finish under pressure to put that ball into the top left corner. It looks easy, but it really isn't easy to do with the goalkeeper bearing down on you and knowing all your teammates are watching behind you.
Yeah, nobody wants to go into the half time at a goal down, so much happier situation once you've scored.
He was actually found completely free there without an Odysseus man on him, so he had the time to take to overthink the situation. So it'll be interesting to see what Odysseus tried to change in the second half here.
Yeah, I'm not sure they'll sit back. They'll certainly be looking to try and get that goal back. It's what Ghent do to stop them, really. Ghent with their coach there, so they're having a half-time team talk. Odysseus, their coach is actually playing with them. Erwin Roos is the coach who's also a player coach, so he'll be giving them advice on the water there.
Belgium didn't send a team to the ICF Canoe Polo World Championships this year in Welland, so for these players this will be the biggest competition they take part in this year. They will have been building up to this as a team together.
Three of the Odysseus team were out there with the senior men from the Netherlands. And Erwin Roos, who's I mentioned was their coach, he's played in many World Championships in the past and coached a variety of national teams since then as well.
And still playing.
And is still playing.
Although he's taking a break for the start of the second half by the look of it, so maybe it is beginning to catch up with him.
You're not insinuating that Owen might be in his latter years, are you?
Nothing of the sort. So we've got Dylan Tuff here, who looks like he's going to go for the sprint at the start of the second half for Odysseus. Number 5, Sander. That ball could have gone to either of those players there. Odysseus player did really well to snaffle that ball up. So Odysseus do get the opportunity at the start of this second half to level it up. First possession of the ball.
Not rushing into anything, though. That Ghent defence is just so strong there. They've got a 3-in-1 defence with 3 players at the back of the line and 1 on the front.
You can see the weight of the Odysseus players is pushing them to come together, but they're all falling into the right positions to prevent the ball being able to come in. So it's really nice control of the opponent's boat on the way in.
That ball could have gone anywhere. It just dropped nicely for the Ghent player.
Ghent trying to work an opportunity here inside. He's had this ball for a long time, manages to get it away. You can only hold on to the ball for 5 seconds at a time.
And bounces off the bars there.
Inside of 2 of the bars almost. Oh, it's been given. That goal has been given. It's standing. Must have gone in and hit the back bar and come back out. So Ghent go 2-0 up early on in this second half.
So the whole of the ball has to cross the face of the goal, the bars. So the goalkeeper, the referee would be right on the line, so they'll have seen that.
Sometimes the 2 back bars can cause the ball to come back out incredibly quickly, so it's very difficult to tell from a front-on angle as to whether the ball has gone in or not. So Odysseus are 2 goals down now. They'll have to consider changing their tactics up soon, being more aggressive in defence.
See if they can get anything out of this attack first, and then we'll see what happens when they lose possession. That'll be the telling moments. Bouncing off the bars again. Who's going to pick this up? Loose ball there. Ghent have the possession now. Odessa's still dropping back to their defence at the moment. They're not changing their tactics yet. Odessa's starting to push out.
And they have gone for it now. They are putting the pressure on.
So man-for-man marking.
I think this Ghent team might be slightly quicker for pace than the Odysseus team across the board. That could be telling in this 5-out, but we'll see.
Good switch there from the Odysseus players to keep up with the Ghent
Where's that
team
ball
there.
gone? Open into the field, so Odysseus will get the ball back here.
Ghent happy with the tactics that they were playing, so have dropped back into their defence. They've got a 2-goal lead, so they don't need to work as hard as the Odysseus team. Shot there from Odysseus, but
saved again.
Saved. And that's a corner to Odessa, so they keep the possession for the time being. Good shot there, but again it's saved. Out for a corner.
So Odysseus getting plenty of possession here to make their opportunities to get back in the game.
And no, bad shot selection there. That was blocked straight away, although...
Being timed out here. Referee wants to speak with someone again.
And that's the Ghent player, number 2, going over to see the referee. So that's Linus Couture.
Seems to be wearing the captain's armband as well, so I don't know if it's a individual or a team discussion that's going on here.
Referee indicating a holding and a green card. Again, player back into his defence, so Odysseus will start with the ball. Shot.
Good block there. No one on the Odysseus player shoulder there, so he had to really go for the shot or just bring it back out. Surprising not to see someone take a run and take a little bit of the attention away for the goalkeeper. Just watch that straight onto the end of his paddle.
And another shot there, blocked down.
Been running out.
So Odysseus back on again, team 5 out. They need to get
right
possession.
Up, trying to get it to their anchor there. It's done really well to run the clock down, holding on to the ball.
Again, doing a great job of holding the ball from Odysseus, but Odysseus do need to put the pressure on to get this ball back. 2 goals down at the moment.
Some really, really hard fights going on around this pitch at the moment. Well off the ball as well as on it. One of those has caused a foul against Ghent, so the ball will go back to Odysseus again.
Ghent just resetting their defence. They're not worried about playing out there. They've worked well with their defence so far in this game, so they'll set it up again.
Only a few minutes left on this game now, so Odysseus really need to score soon if they want to make the opportunity to get back in the game and get some points out of it.
Ball just blocked there by the Ghent player, giving them the possession back.
Both teams looking fairly tired now compared to the start of the game. Ghent have no interest in trying to break through that. At 2 goals up, that's not surprising. Expect to see them hold on to the ball here and run the clock down in their favour. .30 seconds left on the shot clock at the moment.
And a long shot there,
shot.
straight in.
Could see that the goalkeeper had left to make the press, managed to get it past the defender. Really
So
nice shot there.
Ghent 3, Odysseus 0, and that was Bert Valnick with the shot and goal. So Odysseus really have a mountain to climb here, I think.
Yeah, I think they'll know that this game has probably gone for them. Expect some early shooting here, though.
And a corner for them.
Try and rescue some aspect of goal difference if it will make any difference in their group. Nice ball. Oh, I just dropped the ball there just as he was shooting. That was probably their best opportunity of the second half. 1-on-1 with the keeper there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's mistakes that are costing them this game. They have turned over possession once again, so let's see if they can salvage anything from it.
Considered the long shot there, but decided against it.
That
Great
one-
finish.
and that was a great
That was a
goal.
powerful shot.
And
The
that's
Ghent keeper and defender looked slightly stunned by that shot. They weren't expecting it to come after the first player had chosen not to shoot it himself.
Malspel for Odessa, so that brings the score back to 3-1 to Ghent.
So the Ghent player holding the ball up towards that end of the pitch, towards the attacking end, looking for a pass. He's got that pass. There's no goalkeeper in here, so they can get it past the defender. And that's the end of the game.
So the final score, Ghent 3, Odessa's 1.
And a well-controlled win for Ghent now, I think.
And we're back now with a senior men's game between KRM Essen from Germany and Assigné from northwest France. For those of you not familiar with these two teams, the team in the white kayaks, white buoyancy aids and white helmets is the Rothmühl Essen team, and the team in the white and green kayaks, green buoyancy vests and white helmets is the Assigné team. And as these two teams are called to line up by the referee, this game will be underway very, very shortly, and we'll talk you through the action as it happens. This is a group game. The men's competition split into 4 groups. This is a Group A game between these teams. Still very crucial who wins which game in this group. And on the first charge start, Assigné, French paddling style, winning against the German paddling force, and they take the first possession of the game. Two very experienced teams at this level. Rothmühl Essen won the European Club Championships last year and I think the year before. And hoping to get to the final for the 3rd year on the trot. A long way to go yet. But Rothmühl Essen, a huge team and club in canoe polo, but they concede the first goal to Alain Lignel, French senior men's team player, back from his duties for his national team in Canada early in August, and scores the opening goal in this game. 1-0, Assigné lead Rothmühl Essen. Now, German team's big, strong, powerful goal-scoring machines certainly won't panic about going 1 goal down at this stage, but they won't like that. It's like poking a bear.
Very much is a clash of the titans at this point, isn't it? I mean, Essen strikes fear into the heart of many. Yeah,
Rothmühl Essen, massive team. At their home tournament this year, they were put out of the competition, and Assigné went on to the final. So I think a bit of revenge wouldn't go down at all badly with the Germans.
Very much got a score to settle at this point.
Assigné have opened the account. So, as I say, certainly won't panic. They're one of the most experienced teams in the world, Rothmühl Essen. They'll stick to their game plan. And there it is. That's easily reopens or equalises. That's Johan Dreisen. Beautiful, big, strong player. Again, played German under-21s, involved in the senior men's team. Now just playing club duties. Not sure whether he's taking a sabbatical or retired from international polo. Still a young man, but a huge powerhouse of a man, and he's pulled them back into the game. So, 1-1, 2 minutes gone, 1 goal apiece. Can't ask for more than that. Game certainly isn't going to give up easily. Both teams know they've got what it takes to win this game, and both teams will be hoping that they can win it, because this group is still alive, this game is still alive. 17 minutes or so to determine who's going through top of the group.
The German team just pushing out, really putting that pressure on Assigné.
Yep, they're relying on their ability to close the gaps as they appear, that when they open it out like that, they're almost inviting Assigné to come inside, and they know they can close them up. For me, that's a risky strategy. The French very, very good at finding gaps by moving their boats. Their kayaking skills second to none as a nation. But it's paid off for Essen now, and they're getting another chance, but there's some nice goalkeeping work there. This is very, very good stuff. Alain Lignel, French senior men's goalkeeper for Assigné, and as you would expect, very good goalie. Corner ball. The ball's gone off over the back of the pontooned area. Essen players bringing the ball back in. Keepers ticking over. You can see the defensive line there, effectively the three French players in defensive line with a player on the front trying to protect the passage, but the Germans just forcing their way inside. So tight in there, very difficult for the referees to see exactly what's going on. Teams pushing, boat against boat, little bit of paddle against paddle. fair bit of contact. Very, very physical game. You can see now going on right in the centre between 1 for Essen and 2 for Asnier. A physical, personal battle. And on that occasion, Benno Richer getting the better of it for Asnier and the ball dropping to him, and they come away with this now. Their 1-goal lead didn't last more than a minute, and we're hoping they can get it back. Let's see how they set up to this. And as you say, German team, quite an open defence. It looks like there's a gap until one of those green boats tries to go inside, and suddenly the gap that you thought was there just disappears. And that's just about the work rate. It means that they can push across to either side or out to the middle. And they're just expecting to just keep working throughout the entire game to do that. Oh, that's a nice inside pass, though. And again, the Rothmühl goalkeeper, Bene Lagler, not here today, couldn't make it, so they've got... Oh, so I take that back, Bene is in goal. I thought he wasn't here. He's doing his business. I thought it was a good goalkeeping. He's their number 1 goalkeeper, Swiss national team player. And that is uncharacteristic. You will not see many passes as weak as that from any German team, never mind from Rothmühl Essen. They are absolute masters of the long pass, and that one catching them out. And almost as if for compensation, Asnier have returned the favour and thrown the ball off the side of the court. That's a let-off. Very, very unusual. Master passes, the big long pass, key to the German game. Every player on their team can probably throw the ball 30 metres. Certainly comfortable about making a pass over 25 normally, but that was, by their standard, poor effort. And again, some work rate going on inside. One player inside, one player trying to tie up the front man, and then a drive, trying to find a way across. Again, great goalkeeping, both teams. Those shots, absolutely powerful, on target. That one a little bit centre of the goal. And Alan Lignel makes that save look easy, and I can promise you anything but. Jakub Maslak taking the corner, bringing it out. Polish national team player. Rothmühl again, one of the very big German clubs that pioneered the system of interchanging players from abroad to strengthen their club strategy. Not a popular strategy in all countries of the world, but certainly in the big German clubs, very, very happy to recruit and make their own overseas players. As I say, Benedikt Lagler from Switzerland and Jakob there from Poland, making up their regular numbers. They're not brought in for this competition. These are players who've played for a long time with the team. And now pressing 5 out, again, something you would never have seen a German team do a decade ago. Happy to come on to a French team and press 5 out, and you can see why. They've got possession of the ball. They've created a one-on-one chance. And that's beautifully taken, absolutely beautifully taken. That's Timothy Dorn. Again, the German side, all big finishers. Goes with the game for them, and he's happy to take on Alan Lignel, national team goalkeeper, and score. So, from the goal down, they're a goal ahead. 2-1 to Rothmühl Essen. And a fast response. Asnier going to their banking method is speed, and they're trying to just pick up the pace a little bit and to find a gap inside the German defence. We'll see if they can. They've popped a man inside now. That's Benno Richer, their captain, trying to hold a gap in the defence. He's going to find that hard work, I can promise you. And as you can see, he's just been compressed. He's got nothing left, struggling very hard, fighting to get some room for his kayak. But there's been a paddle foul there, and so a fast break for Rothmühl. They will have to be careful with that. Asnier, if they give too many chances to this German team, the game could be over by half-time. Oh, and that shot's weak. That's gone over the top. Still alive, and Asnier will come back all guns blazing. They know that if they play a slow, steady game, that'll play right into the hands of Rothmühl. Haven't even referred to the shot clock yet. In canoe polo, we have a 60-second shot clock. These two teams, no need for a shot clock with them. Shots coming thick and fast from both sides when they get a play made. Cycling round. This is just dropped out of the defence so that they can have a quick chat. Assigné setting up one of their start plays. And again, trying to work inside that German defence. You can see on this occasion it's Emmanuel Heerbeck being tasked to try and make a gap in the German defence, and suddenly you can see there are just white buoyancy vests all around him and no joy. Beautifully taken shot and a lovely save from Ben Elagla in the Rothmühl goal. Play-ons, the referee screaming, resets the shot clock, trying to let Assigné take another shot, but that's overblocked and a penalty. Penalties in polo, 6 metre undefended goal for all of these players as a training exercise. An absolutely simple goal. On a windy day in Nottingham with the pressure on, not quite so straightforward. Not surprisingly, a captain's job to step up. Benno Richer, number 2. Do this job, make it look easy. That's all that's asked of him. And he does. Straight down the centre of the goal, 2-2. So, as we come down towards the end of the first half, that's Assigné back in the game. So, a live wire game. And that's a snapshot from Essen. They must be short of time. Yep, right on the hooter. No other options but to do it. So, the timing of that penalty, absolutely premium for Rothmühl. And now, teams will retreat to their 3-minute half time, get some instructions from their coaching staff and see if they can come out in the second half. Again, 3 minutes the maximum in theory. Both of these teams significantly coached. Rothmühl Essen team coach is Michael Conrad. He's father of Leon Conrad, one of their players, and son of Jürgen Conrad, one of the original family of canoe polo, organising the Deutschland Cup in Essen for the past 30 plus years. So a canoe polo family, the Conrads, of the highest order.
Now the referee is just having a chat with Johan Driesen there, who is not happy about.
I think they're still going on about the penalty because there was a play on call. The player was encouraged to shoot by the referee, did so and was overblocked. I have to say from up here it looked fairly clear cut, but like most defensive players, I think they've got a little bit more leeway than they have.
Yeah. Perhaps he's going for the don't ask, don't get approach.
Well, once the penalty's awarded, very, very, very rare to see a referee backpedal on it. And I can't help thinking that talking to the referees at half-time's got very little mileage in it either. But the coaches, the Assigné coach, will be trying to say, we've got back into this game. They're very nicely done. And they've got to use speed as their weapon. They've got to find a way inside. And they will not break down the Rothmühl defence using brute force. They need to apply some brute force to create the opportunity, but the tool they'll use is speed. For Rothmühl, I've known Michael Conrad a long time. They know that their game is getting it in the net when the chance comes. They can force a goal or they can score on the break. They're very capable of it. They rely completely at the back on Ben Elagla to save stuff, and they'll defend and break if they can. Both of these teams, we're lucky, if they're a goal behind come the second half of this half, they will press 5 out, both of them. No hesitation. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're lucky, if one team goes ahead right at the start of the half, we'll have a press right from the off. So, an exciting second half in prospect. Here we go. Assigné lining up in the green vests, and in the white vests with the red lettering, we have Rothmühl Essen. So, France versus Germany. Assigné versus Rothmühl. Winners of last year's competition versus the upstarts that knocked them out of the Deutschland Cup in Essen this year. So absolutely everything to play for on every level.
Their own tournament. I mean, that's got to hurt, surely.
It hurt. They were badly hurt. I was lucky enough to be there, and they really couldn't believe they went out. They didn't get to a semi-final in their own competition. I'm not sure if it's ever happened before, but it's a long time if it has. And here we go. Again, the French don't disappoint. Fantastic paddling skills. Those German players are quick, but the French have won 2 out of 2 sprints there. And that one won by far enough that you could almost call it comfortable. There's some effort gone into that. And they get to set themselves. You can see sitting outside, running a set play start, crossing over at the back, trying to find the inside pass and finding the inside pass. Now there's the gap. Superb. Cutting across. And the reason the Assigné team switch it from side to side is the German team will compress across all of them to where they think the threat is. So if you can cut it across to the other side, there'll be a gap there. And as it happens, this is the other problem. Flat, aggressive attack. You have to be flat to have enough stuff to do it. And they've been caught on the break. And now that's Jakub Maslak has scored on the break for Rothmühl after what was a beautifully crafted Assigné attack has effectively cost them a goal. Real shame.
It just goes to show how quickly this game can turn around, though.
Yeah, and that was an absolutely fine example. You're busy singing the praise of the Assigné team, and now unfortunately they're 3-2 behind. But to be fair to them, they're straight back on the job. The same thing again, tight passing, trying to pass it through and around this big German defence. Very, very brave, and that is their game. And again, unfortunately for them, in doing that, Jakob has managed to get a break together and he's being well backed up. This could be costly, could be very costly. That was Benelagler, the German goalkeeper, got himself up to the 6-metre line, delivered nicely to him, and you could see him shaking his head. He knows he's capable of finishing that chance. They could have just about put this game to bed there, and instead, we're still on.
Germans just using brute force just to plough through that French defence.
Yep, that's the edge they've got, and they know it. They've got the physicality, and if they can just drive a space, they will do. And the other thing about Germany is very, very big finishers. Everyone in that team can score a goal. Most teams at this level, club level, will look round, they'll have 2 or 3 favoured finishers. Not the Germans. They don't care. Any one of their men will score them a goal, and they will all back each other to do it. Same at club level, at this kind of club level anyway, and at the national team level. It's one of their big, big strengths.
It's what makes them so dangerous, isn't it? Because the threat could come from anywhere, really.
Yes, and it does. And again, I think Assigné will be glad to get out of that. They're 1 goal behind, and they've got a break on themselves now. Not a great one, but that's a good delivery. Oh, that was half a chance. That was a good half chance. And again, from Assigné point of view, it goes out for a corner. They'll probably take that. Keeps them on the front foot. They're a goal behind, but definitely in the game. And they've proved they can score here. They just have to take a chance or two. Oh, and that's unlucky. That's saved onto the bar by Bene. That could have gone in. And the downside, take a shot that's not a goal and you throw yourself open to this quick counter-attack. Great game we're getting here. Now Rothmühl will scrub a few seconds off the clock because that goal lead is good. If you back your goalkeeper, being a goal ahead is a great thing, and they do. Team spirit and confidence amongst this Rothmühl side is phenomenal. They trust each other to do their job all the way down the line, and that was a fantastic bit of goalkeeping because that was no slouch of a shot from Johan Dreisen. He scored earlier on. He was quite capable of scoring there, but that was beautifully covered by the Assigné defence.
The French top man there just really, really using his boat to his advantage, because when you don't have the physicality, you have to use boat technique.
You have to be prepared to go around the long way. Yep, you can't drive through. You have to go around, and that's a long way with some of these guys. Yeah, these are shot clock resets for Essen now. They're taking good shots. They'd score them a goal against a lot of weaker opponents, but here they're quite happy to just get a corner, reset the shot clock, go again. And as the clock comes down now, if they stay in this half, waiting, drawing the odd foul, getting the shot clock resets, they might get a goal out of it. But at the end of the day, it's all about running the clock here. This is a tactical awareness. And now as we said at half-time, the Assigné team is looking to push out. They tried there, and a good pass put them back in, but they're looking for a fight. That's a phenomenal save. Up close, Alain Lignal, proving why he's the French goalkeeper and why he's this Assigné goalkeeper. That shot would be a goal again 9 times out of 10, and he's pulled 2 or 3 of them out in this game.
French team now pushing 2 and 2.
Yeah, they're looking for the opportunity to go the full 5. They know they have to, because they can feel what we're saying, that the Essen team is just quite happy to keep getting shot clock resets. And I'm not sure how many minutes they've been here, but probably 2 minutes, 3 maybe already. And they're quite happy just to keep throwing up big shots that end up being corners. They just need to do something that gives an opportunity to Assigné to get out, and Assigné will jump out on them. But at the moment, we all know what the game plan is, and Essen are not prepared to make the mistake that gives Assigné the chance. Look at that. They make it look so effortless.
Huge shots.
Yeah.
Good grief. Wish I could do that.
You and 98% of the polo world probably wish they could do that. But that's, again, that's Hubert Migdalski, another of the Polish players. Huge, huge hit. Now then, is this the opportunity? This long ball forwards pressure, yes, it is absolutely. A slightly weak pass that's over long, and out come Assigné. They were looking for that opportunity for the last 60 seconds or so, and that was the first really good chance they've had to come out tidily, and they've committed to it. Fair play. I hope they haven't been forced to wait too long. Oh, unlucky from an Assigné point of view. In picking that ball up, they've committed a foul, and that resets the shot clock, plays into the Essen game plan hands. Assigné still sticking with the 5 out, as you would expect at this point in the game, but this is a risky strategy. Oh, and just fumbled out of his hands. Could this be a turning point? Assigné have the ball. The defence for Rothmühl has dropped back, as we said, backing themselves to keep this. This is only a 1-goal lead. Dropping back. They've got Benelagler in goal. They've got the main defenders back. Everybody's back in. Assigné have taken just a second to get the ball back, but in that time, the Rothmühl defence completely set. Now, can they find a gap in it? Foul called. Assigné free shot out towards the right of the Rothmühl goal. Probably too far for a real shot, but again, just resets the shot clock for them. They need to make something happen here. 3-2 to Rothmühl, 1-goal lead. Plenty while Benelagler's pulling them down and dropping them down to his defence. And Assigné need a better gap than that. And again, as we've said time and time again, you shoot and don't score. This is the risk you run. Now another mistake. This is the tide of the game. Oh my word. I think that was on target. I think that was a save off that long shot. There were options there for him and he chose to do it himself. Forcing it in. And that's not the number 1 goalkeeper for Rothmühl. That's Lennart Unterfeldt dropping in, covering for Benelagler, who had gone on the break, and making 2 great saves. Now they've got Bene back in. So this 1-goal lead, so far so good. That had been living on a knife edge there. Fantastic. Assigné well in this game. Clock starting to work against them. Pressure coming on them. Recycling it round. Dropping out and then inside. Trying to get a man inside, and as again, time and time again, the gaps just disappear. You can see a gap, you think, why doesn't he paddle into there? Player paddles into the gap, and before he can even get his kayak in there, the gap's just disappeared. That's just about the work rate of the German defence. Assigné throwing ball up now. They're getting a little bit desperate. Never a good look. Not too long left for them to rescue this. They've got a corner. They're putting together quite decent attacks, but they're not getting any product. And as we said earlier, the Germans just backing themselves to hang on to this 1-goal lead. They've done this before and they've made it work countless times. But equally, somewhere in the back of their minds, they've done this before and been caught out right at the last second. Big open German defence, gaps everywhere, but nobody in them. Assigné outside, they've regrouped, running a set play. Here it comes, and as soon as someone comes near, there's no gap. Massive block, didn't take the pass. Inside ball, down and loose. Just working to recover this. If Rothermere can get their hands on the ball now, it's probably just about over. Assigné have got to keep this alive and in their hands. Oh, that's a harsh kayak tackle. Players upside down. Taking a fairly big hit there. Referee tried to play on, see if he could get through and take the advantage, but he's just been closed off. That's a reasonable position, probably a bit too far out for a shot attempt. But remember, when this happened in the first half, the referees were quick to go to a penalty, so Rothermere will have to be careful, and they've given away another foul. They must be walking a fine line with the referee now. Assigné chances coming and going. Going to recycle a little bit of space. Big shot, but no chance. Now, is this it? Is this the moment that finishes this game? Oh, there's a very strong chance. You've got to say, Jakub Maslak, open free, winning, no mistake, has enough time to just have a check, take a moment, put it in, and that was on the hooter. He'll have known he didn't even need to finish it. Just insult to injury, that final goal, but what a great game there. 2 goals, Rothermere win by. 4 goals to 2, a superb game for us, absolutely brilliantly played. All kinds of different plays, 2 or 3 very fine goals and some lovely goalkeeping, but Rothermere Essen run out 4-2 winners over Assigné, France.
And welcome back to Nottingham for the start of the women's next game, and that's Friends of Allenby and Ciencias. Friends of Allenby in blue with the white helmets, Ciencias in the red and red helmets. Ciencias from Spain, Friends of Allenby from Great Britain. As we said earlier, a lot of these players just back from the World Championships in Welland in Canada. And on the Friends of Allenby team, we have 4 of the under-21 GB ladies and 2 of the senior women players on this team. So almost all of these players out in Canada. Ciencias with a goal line throw there. And the ball dropped, quickly picked up again, no. Tackle from Friends of Allenby, Ciencias ball. But long ball up the pitch, goes to Friends of Allenby. Blocked down by Ciencias though. They have possession again. If they can keep hold of it this time, see if they can get it up the pitch. Back to the keeper. Friends of Allenby putting all sorts of pressure on the Ciencias team early in this game. And Friends of Allenby have picked the ball up. They're looking to make a quick attack. Long ball up the pitch, but blocked down by the Ciencias goalkeeper. Ginny Coyle's going round her to pick the ball up. And that's a shot and a goal for Friends of Allenby. Danny Brain, number 6.
Now can Ciencias respond? The Madrid side, Ciencias means science. They use a formula-style logo to form their name, but that weak pass absolutely pounced on. Prue Blythe off the front, passing the ball out to Katie Farley, but not quite quick enough to get the ball into the open goal.
Ginny Coyles with a shot, but off the bar. It's a goal line throw to Ciencias.
As we've mentioned before, these are the last of the early group games. The Friends of Allenby women won their previous game. They'll go through top of their group if they can win this and into the next round of games. They are previous winners of the European Club Championships, and they'd dearly love to add another title to their long tally. All picked up by Prudence Blythe there. Decides to kick away. Looking for an opportunity now while the Spanish player recovers her paddle.
Katie Farley with the goal for Friends of Allenby. That's goal number 2 for Friends of Allenby.
Yep. Clever thinking really from Prudence Blythe there. Saw that there was a player without a paddle and brought the ball across to the other side. So effectively Friends of Allenby able to attack against a short staff defence and getting the reward there. Setting up a very aggressive defence. Friends of Allenby 2 out. Ciencias being asked a question very early, trying to force an error.
Drop ball there by Ciencias. Quick pick up from Prue Blythe.
Yeah, in these loose ball situations, certainly so far, all gone the way of Friends of Allenby. Just seem to be working that a bit harder for this game, looking for a bit more edge to what they're doing. Looking hunger in the early exchanges, but that was a superb save, really was. Barbara Pardo. This Ciencias team second in the Spanish league to Pintarense, excuse me, who won it. Ciencias have won it on many occasions, a big team in Spain, Madrid men's and women's teams, as you would expect, but certainly on the wrong end of the start of this game. 2 goals down, that not allowed, disallowed goal there. Referee's not happy with where the free shot was taken from. And again, the relentless pressure, a big shot from outside the zone, dropping into the goal, and that's 3-0.
Still very early in the game here for Friends of Allenby to be that far ahead, but I don't think they'll give up the pressure that they're putting on this Ciencias team.
No, I think you're right. They've obviously decided that they're going to keep going for this. And this game probably is in the bag for them now, but certainly they're not getting the foot off the gas. They're trying to keep it going, and quite right too.
And that's goal number 4 already. That's Katie Farley. Friends of Allenby 4, Ciencias 0. Ciencias really need to just tidy up their passing a little bit more, and I think they can get the ball worked up the pitch. It's being picked up too easily by Friends of Allenby at the moment. Again, another block there, just not placing it quite in the right place.
Yeah, she didn't have a good pass, and now she's in all kinds of trouble. Ciencias already. Timeout by the referees. Ciencias getting the free throw there, give them a chance to regroup a little. But again, Friends of Allenby chasing with 4, feeling that's enough. 4 against 5, they can force errors and still have the safety of a goalkeeper. It's a quite deliberate tactic, one they've played before. I think that's going to be 1 foul too many for the referee, yes. Team green for the paddles. They've been given called a lot of paddle fouls so far, and it's giving a team green. That'll take the heat out of the FOA game a little. I just have to be careful now.
Great shot there, but blocked down and then put out for a corner.
Yeah, I wonder if that team green just taking the punch out of the Friends of Allenby attack, giving a little bit of heart to Ciencias, is probably their most sustained or useful period of pressure so far. If they can just get an accurate pass or 2 together.
Referee just having a word there.
Hard to see quite what he's warning them about. Obviously, it is still a corner ball to Ciencias, probably asking the players just to clean the game up and get on with it. And that is a pass well delivered, but still under pressure. And then a pass badly delivered, and that break. Katie Farley picks up the loose ball, and before Ciencias can turn around, she's halfway to the goal. And that's 5-0. I think that's going to be the story of this game. Ciencia's now going to be a bit frustrated by everything they do, I think. Well, the Team Green hasn't slowed FOA down. They're still setting up as a 2-2. Whether it can afford to be quite as aggressive as it was early on or not is another matter.
I think just putting the presence there and keeping the pressure on slightly, even if they have to back off with some of the paddles and attacks.
Yeah, and as we're seeing, that the two of them managing to hold that out quite comfortably. So a goal line throw in favour of FOA, and they'll come away. And again, they're not in any rush to score now. This game, and therefore this group is in the bag for them. They're topping the group. They'll go forwards into the next round and onwards, and from their point of view, hopefully upwards. And at the moment, they're playing with the confidence that the lead deserves.
Ciencia's dropping back into their defence. They're not happy to come and put pressure on this FOA team at the moment. And that's another goal for FOA.
Yeah, and as it runs to 6-0, I'm afraid that Ciencias will be moving into a damage limitation mode here. Just take all the heat they can out of the game. Yeah, very difficult from a Ciencias point of view to see what to do, and so that's one option, with the FOA team pressing up close to them, getting a shot away, hoping for the best. But
that was just on the half-time whistle, one shot. So
we go into half-time 6-0. Very difficult to see what the Ciencias half-time talk can be to get this back. Seriously, it has to be about trying to not allow it to run away. If you want an optimistic point of view, you score one goal and start to claw your way back into the game from there. At the other end, the FOA team talk really will depend on what they're hoping to get out of this game. I suspect they'll just keep playing the same way, pressing, picking up ball where they can, and scoring as soon as they can. And if they can run the score up towards 10-0 or maybe even a bit more, then that's what they'll do. Quite merciless. Ciencias will be, as I say, just trying to damage limit and think if we can get one goal, maybe we can get a second, and maybe, and maybe, and maybe. And that's how it has to go. The 3 minutes of half-time almost up. The referees will be calling them up, getting them ready to line up for the second half.
Ciencia's ready to go.
And the next game on this pitch after this one is another ladies' game with the Spanish team Pinaturense versus the German side Coburn Schnee. So we'll have that to look forward to once this game is finished.
And that's the second half underway.
Oh, comfortable pick up for Prue Blythe to Ginny Cause, Great Britain ladies teammates.
Ginny looking for the shot there, but not in this time.
And out for a goal line throw. And Ciencias now, their first possession of this half. Can they turn the tide? Big ask. And again, immediately under pressure, 5-out press. Certainly no change for the FOA girls. But found a break. Helena Smithson getting a tiny bit of space, but not enough to go past Ginny Cause. Just swept back up.
Bad pass there, though. Back to Ciencia's possession.
Yes, and I think Ciencias have regrouped a little at half-time. They're coping with the pressure a little bit better. They're supporting each other better, and they're managing individually to deal with each situation. But it's a big ask.
It's a bit of a mountain to climb this half for them.
And again, we've got Elena Smithson being pressured by Ginny Corso. That's a matchup that's been picked out, and she's done well to get the ball cleanly away, and they've got a shot. Georgie Longbottom there being the player who actually managed to drive the ball off the pitch to generate a goal line throw for Friends of Allenby, and that to be taken by Ginny Coyle. So far in this half, things have been quite close. FOA pressing and Ciencias up to it, but that's a superb pass from Ginny Coles. And again, that layoff, that really should have been a goal. That was a beautifully crafted long pass up from Ginny into the hands of a shooter, and then off the top bar. Nice bit of play, but no result at the end.
I think it's just the mistakes that are keeping the goals down for FOA in this half. They've 2 mistakes there under the goal that could have resulted in shots.
Yes, they'll be thinking they could have had a couple. But here we go from Ciencias. Again, still keeping themselves alive, keeping the hope going. But that shot chance blocked down. And again, swinging back up to the other end. And some nice goalkeeping work. Yes, the FOA not been as clinical in the second as they were in the first, but made another chance here. And again, well defended.
Ciencias are definitely defending much better than they were in the first half.
I wonder if that was the talk at half-time. Let's concentrate on that. Keep this, take something away from this, even if it's just that we've improved the way we defend. We're much tighter. Certainly they've not leaked the ball quite so easily on the press either.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and well done. A really optimistic pass, and it was dealt with as it should be by Ciencias, just brought down and into their possession. But and they've got a foul there. Might give them a chance to move away. 4 minutes gone, no goals scored, so certainly they've stemmed the flow. Ciencias, well done.
FOA still putting the pressure on though.
Absolutely. But they have dealt with it so much better this half, Ciencias. If they take nothing else out of that,
and
they
that's
have.
A goal.
Yeah,
Brilliant
well made.
Goal. That's number 8, Helena Smithson.
Yep, and they've deserved that, I think, on this second half performance.
Definitely. They're working much better in this half.
Ginny nodding ahead, trying to rally the troops, get them to go where they want.
Oh, and a drop ball.
It's FOA's turn to be making mistakes and fumbling errors. And again, well played to Ciencias there. There was half a chance, and that wasn't taken because she wanted to maintain possession. And they moved the ball back up into the FOA half again.
Oh.
But here we go. They've upset Ginny now, and so she just digs deep. Wonderful job. Now, what's going to happen here? I think that's going off the back line.
That'll be a corner.
And it's given as a corner by the referee.
And Ginny's just accidentally let go of the ball before the shot there. Ciencias picking it up.
Yep, and a goal line throw. Yeah, been a very good half for Ciencias. I know they're behind. I know they're probably not going to get back into this game, but they've certainly stepped it up a gear or two in this half.
And this is a team that arrived at 4 a.m. this morning.
Well, I didn't know that. That's true. We're probably just waking up. I don't think 4 a.m.'s bedtime for most Spanish people from Madrid.
Certainly not in Madrid, no.
Oh, nice interlinked play between Daniel Brain and Ginny Cors, but no finish from Danny. Spanish goalkeepers had a great game. That's a free shot for Friends of Allenby. Rather a lazy, clumsy paddle challenge. Ball goes to Prue Blythe in front of that goal, and that's no mistake. That's the first goal that FOA have scored this half. That's 7-1 now. But on the half, it's 1-1 after 7 minutes of the half. So Ciencia should take some comfort from that. They should take some hope from that. They really need to be telling themselves they need to start the game in the way they've approached the second half. Really better discipline, much tighter. And if they can keep that going for the last 3 minutes of this game, they won't have done too badly at all.
No, much improved second half here. Friends of Allenby with another break now.
Yeah, and this is quite a clean break at the moment if they can get the ball away.
Ciencia's getting their defence back though.
Yep, they've done it.
Hands on the ball.
Loose but off. I think probably at this stage Ciencia's quite happy to take the soft option of throwing it out for a corner.
Yeah.
It is the first time they've had to resort to that though. And we've got a yellow card. I suspect that's a green card for paddles.
Converted.
That's added up to a yellow card. And unfortunately for the game, unfortunately for us in the crowd, and unfortunately for Ciencias, that's a Ciencias player going off. That gives Friends of Allenby's Prue Blythe the chance to score another goal, stretch the lead. And I'm afraid playing against only 4 Ciencias players for the next 2 minutes, FOA will roll up this game, and really that's the death knell for the game. Ciencias really, they'd been playing quite well, but now they're back down to 4. They're going to struggle to keep this going.
Into the last minute of the game now. If Ciencias can just hold them off.
Yeah, they've had a good half. I mean, it's just a shame, really, that obviously that's going to hurt them. They're still going
still
for
working.
it, though. That's great play, great play. Regina Del Pilar. Ginny Cors trying to conjure something out of nothing, as she so often does. Not on this occasion. Door's been closed on her. And again, the Ciencias have got their players back and they've retrieved the ball. I think they've done very well here.
Out for a corner again though, with 4 players only. They're struggling a bit there, so take a bit of time off the clock, put it out for a corner.
Now is the time for one last FOA goal. Not if they're inaccurate. The Ciencias 4's done pretty well to keep the door closed on them.
And a shot off the top bar. That's Katie Farley.
Again, just not enough bodies for Ciencias in front of the goal, and picked up by Prue Blythe and scores. 8-1 harsh. Back up to 5, so they've weathered 2 minutes of it not too badly. I think we must be quite close to the end now. Can they just get something out of it? And that is it.
And that's
all
the
done.
last one.
And so Friends of Allenby run out what looks like comfortable 8-1 winners over Ciencias from Madrid. And we'll be back with the next game in this round, which is between the women of Pinatrense of Spain and Coburg Schnee of Germany. Thank you. And as we are about to start the final game in Group D for the women at the European Club Championships 2018, we have AD Pinatrense from Spain in the red kayaks, red buoyancies, red helmets, versus PSC Coburg Schnee from Germany in the black kayaks, black buoyancies and black helmets. So black Germany, red Spain. Coburg versus Pinatrense. Final game in Group D, determining where in the rankings these teams move into the second mini-group stage. This game crucial to both teams. 20 minutes will separate them. Coburg take the first possession. And really a very tentative start to this game. This is not uncommon in some of these small group games where the outcome is crucial. That player went to play the ball, slipped away, but that's a fine save under pressure.
So first corner of the game to Coburg Schnee.
Yeah, that save from Beatrice Quevedo in the Pinatrense goal was absolutely crucial because the defender had capsized, was upside down before she could roll. Advantage was taken by the, as you would expect, by the Coburg Schnee team, getting a shot away. So she's kept them in it. Game picking up pace now as the nerves just settle. And
really difficult in these small groups because nobody wants to come to the bottom of that group. They're going to end up with a much stronger teams to play later.
Exactly, and that is why individually these games matter. And that's a lovely steal. The Pinatrense team playing 2 and 2 had 2 men high and 2 defenders. The defender there chased out to a loose pass and made a good pickup. And actually, if they can capitalise on this, it could be quite crucial because they've just saved a very good chance from the Coburg Schnee team. And now they're on the attack. Very good for morale early in the game. And Pinatrense's first serious attacking opportunity. Sonia Garcia on the point there, trying to run the traffic, directing players where to go. Looking for some sort of percentage inside this German defence, but drives coming inside, and there's the gap in the middle. That was beautifully crafted. She called that play early on, then moved the ball out to the right, made a run through the middle, and that's a goal. Sonia Garcia, you could see she was plotting something. And sure enough, that was it. Drag the ball out to the right and then cut it back to me in the middle and I'll do the rest. And sure enough, that's exactly what she did. 3 minutes gone. And Pinatrense take the lead over Coburg Schnee.
Against the run of play there, I would say.
You would say so, but that was a superbly crafted goal, actually. And that's one of the answers to the people who say the ladies' game is much slower than the men's, this and that and the other. But you can see the tactics, you can see the technique there. Technically, very, very good play.
A lot of these Spanish ladies also in borrowed equipment this weekend. You'll see the blue boats that are partially Fablon. That's because their boats haven't come back yet from the World Championships in Canada. So they're using equipment that's not their own and managing very well in that.
Yep, and again, that Pinatrense defence, it's been a bit loose in the defence, but the goalkeeper has kept them in it again, and that's another super save. And if they can get a goal here, I think they'll find that the momentum of this game is going their way. They've got some good finishing, and that's a corner ball. Resets the shot clock again. We have a shot clock in polo at an international level at the World Championships. It's absolutely crucial. The team's playing tactics off it, running down the clock, wasting time, using up that clock to try and gain tactical advantage. At this club level, there's too much commitment forward. Canoe Polo a much more attacking game here. The tactics are always more aggressive, and some of this club level polo is absolutely the best in the world. Pinatrense women now back in possession, up in front of the goal. 1-0 they lead. Now, can we see another of those beautifully crafted goals? At the moment, they seem happy to just try and force it through the middle. But no, and now they've looked for a pass. No opportunity. 50% chance there and just not good enough. Recycled it wisely, but I don't think a teammate there, which is Laura Banos, was on the programme because she took a worse percentage shot than the one that had just been turned down. They have, however, got a corner.
And another 60 seconds.
Yes. Oh, and that's a bit unlucky from a Coburg-Schnee point of view. The ball went over. The German goalkeeper failed to control it. And that was a lovely bit of opportunism. That was, again, it's the second goal for Sonia Garcia. She controlled the game for the first goal, and she saw an opportunity to steal a goal there, really. The ball was just down, and she thought, well, that'll do. And so now it's 2-0. Pinatrense lead. Very nice opportunistic goal, taken very, very well. This German team have got 2 of their senior ladies national team and 2 of their under-21 ladies national team in their team. Both the German under-21 and senior ladies are current world champions. So 4 players on that team, current world champions. They're currently being put to the sword 2-0 by the Spanish women of Pinatrense. Very, very well-crafted goals and some superb defensive play from the Pinatrense team has been the difference between these two sides.
Pinatrense team again with players from the national team. They have 2 senior women and 2 under-21 and 1 under-21 woman. Unfortunately not able to medal, but they are here with their club team this weekend.
And I would say so far this Pinatrense team looking good value. I think the Germans are going to have to look to their big players now. They need to get a goal to get themselves back in, and typically they're very good at doing that, and they'll have a set play or a system or a person they look to, and they'll go to their banker now, because if they don't, this game could get away from them, because I think the Pinatrense team has surprised them here. They've played very well. As you say, borrowed equipment. Always disappointing to not have your own stuff at a tournament like this, and they're certainly making the best of it. This is quite superb performance from them. And now, quite deservedly, you can see them just taking the heat out of the game. Sonia Garcia just bossing the play she did at the beginning of the half, just called a shot and driven in. They've got something coming here. Whether it works or not, we'll wait and see, but they've got a plan coming now. Just letting that clock run down. They know that the German side have got some big hitters in there, and they'll have an answer to this sooner or later. They want to hang on to the control of this game as long as they can. Sure, the Germans will have a period in the ascendancy. They need to make sure they got a big enough lead. That's a weak pass inside, and Coburg-Schnee come away with the ball. Long high pass, and the fast break now. Can they make this fast break work?
Goalkeeper's back.
Leonie Wagner's got the chance, and she doesn't miss it up. Leonie Wagner, one of the German senior ladies, brings them back into the game past Sonia Garcia, one of the Spain senior ladies. So 2-1 now. Pinatrense lead Coburg-Schnee, and we have to say, I would say that's about the first time that Coburg-Schnee have really looked in the running, and they've done very well.
They're not taking any chances, though. They're back setting up in their zone. Their defence ready for Pinatrense to come through.
Yeah, you're right, and that's their game plan. And unless things go really bad for them, they'll stick to the plan, and that is the plan. Big, solid defence and score on the break, I'm sure. Well, Ciencias have the lead, 2-1, so ball's in their court. Excuse me, yes, Pinatrense have the lead, not Ciencias. Forgive me.
Both teams playing all red, so we'll let you off there.
And Penetrense holding on to that attack. I'd really like that second goal of lead back, but that won't be the way to get it, a loose pass. And as I said a few moments ago, there was bound to be a period in the game where Coburg Schnee were in the ascendancy, and this looks like it. They've pulled one back, and they've got at least a chance of pulling the next one.
We're into the final 30 seconds of this half, though, so mistake made there. Will they have time to even get that shot away? They're looking for it.
Yeah,
and that's the end of the first half.
That's half-time, and yeah, I think that the Penetrense team will be very happy to be 2-1 up, and I think the comfort that the Coburg Schnee team will take out of it is in the back end of that first half, they've actually come back into the game. They were nowhere near it for the first 6 minutes, and now it's 2-1, so they can have a team talk that says, let's turn this round.
Yeah, and Penetrense should be very pleased with the start that they've made here.
Well, and the way the goals have been crafted, I think that's what they've got to go to. I think they're going to have to rely on their goalkeeper. She's going to have more work to do. But if they can craft another couple of goals, they can keep ahead in this game. But I think that the game at the moment, the momentum of the game is with the Coburg Schnee team. They were 2 down. They've pulled it to 2-1. And I think that their World Championship players can get this out of the bag for them now in the second half. But this is sport. This is why we come, to see if they can really do it. Penetrense team, the Spanish National League champions. Sponsored by Iberdrola, a Spanish energy company. All these teams largely self-funded. Any sponsorship deals they can cut with anybody, very gratefully received. Very expensive to cross Europe and the world pursuing your sport. No pay for these teams, all amateur trained, amateur competition. And all credit to the Penetrense team. They're lined up, chomping at the proverbial bit, ready to get the second half underway. Coburg Schnee taking every minute there is to take instructions, water, advice, anything else they can get into the second half from coach. And second half will be underway shortly. And here we go. Who's going to win that? That goes the other way. In the first half, the start was won by the Penetrense team. In the second, the Coburg Schnee team have picked that up. And again, perhaps this is the story. The first half was the Penetrense teams. Can Coburg Schnee make the second half theirs? A big gap through the middle, cruising through and fouled. That's good work from Jules Schwartz. She made a gap that she can capitalise on. Certainly was allowed to drift far too far through that defence with the ball up in the air. Eventually drew a foul, which I think is probably what she was looking for, but can she get something out of it? Recycled round. Pia Schwartz. Yeah, certainly no panic. This Coburg Schnee team are comfortable here, passing the ball around, but they've just allowed themselves to slip up. And they really were in the driving seat for a moment. Now, if Penetrense can get something out of this, they can get the momentum back on their side, I think. They've proved so good at working out plays when they come up the front. Can they find another one that makes some space for themselves in front of the goal?
Jules Schwartz drops back to goal for Coburg Schnee.
Yeah, and Sonia Garcia, the playmaker's found space inside and managed to get a shot away. I don't think her position was premium there, but she's taken a chance. And now that's brought it down for Coburg Schnee, and they're on the break. That's how quickly these games can change. What's the outcome of this break? Long pass over the top. Oh, and a miss. Now again, you wonder, where does this go? That was Leona Wagner. Will she regret that miss? An open goal, well within her range, but just the pressure of it to pull them back into the game. It's ebbed away, and with a goal line throw. So I think the game at the moment hangs in the balance, but the simple truth is the 1-goal lead is Pinatrense's. If it stays like this, they will win this game. Both teams missing opportunities, I think, so far in this half. Honours even, you could say. They're really going to have to not make this kind of mistake. That kind of handling error will come back to haunt them if they're not very, very careful. Had such a clinical first half, the Pinatrense team, and they need to duplicate that now.
Looking for that gap. It's not there this time.
No.
Down.
And they're sitting Sonia Garcia inside now. I think in the first half they had her moving inside from the outside, and that was creating more opportunity. Now she's just sitting inside. The Coburg-Schnee defence is dealing with her actually much more efficiently. They've pulled a corner out of it, Pinatrense, and so it keeps it alive. But as I say, Sonia Garcia is just battling for a position now, and I think if she was a bit more mobile, it would create more problems for that defence. Because physically speaking, they're dealing with her quite well, just holding her out on the 6-metre line.
Coburg-Schnee are a very defensive team, like a lot of the German teams. They're very strong. They'll happily take on anyone who wants to sit in there with them.
Yes, it's part of their game. They're happy to just keep working away. But that's made a gap on the angle. Probably not quite close enough for a real chance, but well worth a go from there.
Lost possession there, though.
Yeah, and that's a good pick-up. That was a body-on-the-line pick-up. Laura Banos put a boat there, knew she'd take that tackle, knew she'd draw the foul, did it to win possession there. Again, that's end-to-end stuff. A decent shot there from Beatrice Quevedo, but blocked over for a corner. Of course, as this half goes down with honours even, very evenly matched in this half, the two teams, neither really finding a good chance. You must remember that underlying that and underpinning that is that the Pinatrense team still have that 1-goal lead.
Yeah, and they're not about to give that up. We're attacking again. They're looking for that space, but as you say, they're not moving into this zone area anymore. They're very static now.
No, and I worry for them that if they don't score again, I think there's another goal at least in this Coburg-Schnee team.
Definitely.
If they leave it at 2-1, they run the risk of an equaliser or even a winner being stolen at the end. They really should try and capitalise on it and play the way they were playing in the first half. They've started to slow the game down, and I don't think that suits to their strengths. But they've found a gap now. And again, another reset on the shot clock. Oh yeah, you could see that coming. Just had to give her teammate a little bit of cover with the nose of her kayak, and that's obstruction. And called by the referee. Just could see the possession slipping away there, and they had to take the chance of getting away with that foul, and of course didn't pay. Oh, and that's a bar. So was that the Coburg-Schnee chance? I think not. They can craft a few more chances than that. Very good at this.
But goal line throw to Pinatrense now, so Coburg-Schnee marking them out now. They've come out man-to-man marking.
Yes, it won't be their comfort zone, Coburg-Schnee, but they have to roll the dice in this way now because there's just too much time gone in the second half. They're still behind. They have to go to what for them is probably a plan B, man-for-man press. It's not a strength battle now, it's a speed battle, awareness.
And one that Coburg-Schnee seem to have got under control here.
Well, I think that was more a poor pass by the Pinatrense players. I think they were just a little bit panicky, and that
Great
was
save.
a well-made save. very much needed there, because it was a good opportunity, a little bit further out than he might have liked. But again, that's the goal scorer. That's Sonia Garcia, not the #1 goalie. She's their playmaker, and so she's done a great job of covering for them there and making that save. I don't think Coburg-Schnee can afford to be delaying this. They really need to go for it, particularly if they want to win. Obviously, they need 1 goal to tie. They need 2 to win, and if they want to do that, they really need to give themselves the hurry up. They don't want to be desperate. They don't want to do anything silly, but they need to really make the chance.
Nobody in there at the moment. They're just working their way in. The Trense have got pressure on that player that's in there.
Well, I wonder if this Coburg-Schnee team are going to look for one big outside shot, and they are. Number 9. Not sure who that is. Now tied at 2. It really could go either way. Referee's keen to get them kicking and underway. There's obviously enough time left for something to happen. Now it's a battle of experience and nerves. For most of the game, the lead has been held by the Pinatrense team. Coburg-Schnee have been chasing the game in almost every sense, but they brought it back to 2-2. Is there going to be a winner, or is it going to run out as a tie? In these group games, of course, a tie is an acceptable result for us and for the organisation. I'm pretty sure the teams never want to tie. Oh, this is just a bit raggedy. Great pass.
Great block.
Save. There's some good skill in this. That was a superb pass and really deserved a finish. But definitely the Coburg-Schnee team have got the momentum with them. They've turned this game round. They've got themselves back in it. At the moment, you would say they look the most likely to score, even though the Pinatrense team have got the ball. Can they find a pass forwards? They've got a breaking player. Got someone away.
Coburg-Schnee putting the pressure on them, but
and superbly pressure finish. Great. Lydia Solaz, great pressure finish. Because you could see that wasn't the easiest of shots. She'd come quite a long way, and it needed doing, and it was done. So 3-2. Pinatrense take the lead back to 1 goal. Can't see the game clock from here. There can't be long left. Very, very tight. Was that the winner? Oh.
Coburg-Schnee are keeping on it, though. They're not going to give up yet.
Yeah, desperate
that
shot
is
there.
the time, though.
And that's time. Well, what a great game. And the Pinatrense team took the lead early, got rain back in, but in the dying seconds of the game managed to score a winner. Fantastic. Pinatrense beat Coburg-Schnee by 3-2.